Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 37 of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the creator and GM of the campaign, Puck Finn. For everyone joining us tonight, welcome. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go over some introductory things, and then excuse me. I just kind of wolfed down a sandwich before we started. And then we'll do some introductions and we'll get right into it. And for those who tuned in last week, you know the special unveiling I have tonight because we built it. And for those who didn't tune in last week for our chat session, we have a nice surprise in store for you. So, first thing I always like to do is talk about our Discord chat. And so the Discord chat is where everything takes place outside of the broadcast. We have a number of channels for our Discord broadcast. We have chat channels, loot channels, voting channels, meme channels, really kind of like a little something for everybody. And so if you're not a part of that, definitely check that Linktree link. You can find the Linktree link currently in our chat as well as on our Roll20 page. And that will show you all of our links, including our Discord chat. In addition to the link to our Discord, we have the link to our Facebook page. Our Facebook page has a number of purposes, including setting event reminders for our sessions. So if you ever kind of lose track of our bi-weekly broadcast, or if we change the scheduling of our bi-weekly broadcast as we did a couple weeks ago, that is the best way to keep up to date, because assuming you have a Facebook account, it will send you event reminders for when we're doing our campaign broadcast. In addition to that, we have the link to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is where all of our campaign broadcasts get stored after we do them. So by that, what I mean is alternate weeks to our campaign broadcast, we have chat broadcasts, and those do not get saved to our Facebook page. But a lot of fun things happened in those broadcasts. So if I always recommend that people tune in, but if you miss out, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to miss anything with the campaign, but more so what we do is we find little fun projects to do. We built something that we're going to unveil tonight. We've done like 3D printing work. I have a resin 3D printer. We've done painting. We've done a whole bunch of just kind of like fun things, as well as conversations that we tend to try to keep it pertaining to the campaign, but that is not necessarily the case. Sometimes we do go off the rails with just whatever interests us. It doesn't have to do with D&D or Legend of Zelda or anything like that, but it often does. So the other good thing about our chat broadcast is I can personally pay more attention to chat. Right now I can look at chat a little bit because I'm not actually running the game. But once that game starts, my brain is going in a million different directions, and one of those directions is really not chat. So although I do love people in chat, and if you are in the room, feel free, because there are we have a great group of people. It's really fun to get talking and everything, but during our campaign broadcast, I cannot interact with chat too often, whereas a chat broadcast, I can. So actually, let me make this adjustment on my screen, which has absolutely no bearing on what you are seeing, but it just makes it easier for me. And so yeah, we have, just to quick recap, we have our chat broadcast, we have a campaign broadcast. they operate on a bi-weekly schedule. All of the links to everything that we do can be found in our link tree, including but not limited to our Facebook page, our Discord server, and our YouTube channel. So if you have not yet, interact with all of those things, whatever the terminology is, like, subscribe, follow, join, whatever, like, get on everything. It's great. But that being said, so in our last campaign session, we ended up we left Zora's domain, and we ended up back in Hyrule, I apologize, Kakariko Village. So, we didn't spend a whole lot of time there. It was very much towards the end of the session, but we are getting reacquainted with Kakariko Village. We are getting reacquainted with the people in Kakariko Village. And this is really kind of like the first time that we have really broken away from Zora's domain since the temple episodes. So as the story continues to progress, let me do our introductions for tonight. Let me see if I can fix Ledo in just a sec. But let me get the audio on. All right, so while I fiddle around with Ledo's camera, how you doing, Ledo?
Okay, so far. I have lots of ideas, but I know we're going to be someone down tonight, and our other person's coming a little bit later, so we'll work with that. Other than that, if you ever want to do any artwork or anything and send it to us, go through that link tree, go straight to the Discord, put in artwork and memes, and we can put together like a video, so if anybody actually wants to do that, or heck, we might ask to use it for something else. Just an idea for you guys.
Yes, very true. There we go. All right, I might have to change this a little bit later. But right now, there we go. We have Ledo on camera. But he does make a very good point. We do love receiving artwork. So anybody who is artistically inclined, feel free to submit anything that we had that you would like to. You don't even have to be artistically inclined, because regardless of how artistically inclined you are, I guarantee you are more so than me. So, hold on. I believe that little shift in the camera means yes. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Let me fix everything. Okay. So, thank you, Ledo, and welcome. We'll see what goes on tonight. I just got a message from Effine that she is having a bit of technical difficulties on her end.
I love Wi-Fi.
All right. There we go. And now we have Gully. Let me just communicate with the feed, let her know I got her message, and we will move forward.
Nope. Just update. Darn it.
And back. Okay, there we go. All right. So, while I get the other camera working. There we go. Okay. So, all right. And so let's jump back to Gully. How you doing tonight, Gully?
Doing good, doing good. Looking forward to hopefully a full session tonight.
Yes,
Oh, jeez.
I feel like it has been a minute since that, but you were coming in. You were coming back in at a good time. We are in Kakariko. Actually, you know what? Quite honestly, wait. Okay, yeah, reversing things. This is kind of bugging me a bit. So you know what? Before we continue on with the introductions, I am going to show everyone what we did last week, and what I have in store. So let me take care of that. Let me try to take care of that. I hope my computer isn't already being slow. All right. So, yeah, it's being a little slow. You know, it's funny. Like, it's funny because like I've mentioned, you know, more in like a way where I tell people like you don't need the best of everything. You don't need to have, you know, the highest, most latest piece of technology to do something like this. But also, that being said, you know, on broadcast days, I completely stay off my computer because I don't want to do anything extra to kind of agitate it while we're broadcasting. So I think it's coming over now. I think you're about to see what I want to show you. It should be. Well, you know, I'm going to toy around with this while I can Oh, wait, there we go. It's just, as I said, being really slow. Okay, so I'm going to comment on that once it finishes loading. But as I said, I got tired of looking at that map of Kakariko Village. So, welcome, Gully. Out of curiosity, what is the last thing that Gully remembers of the campaign?
Oh, jeez. Wow. What the heck? Let's see. We were chatting with was it Ill?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So that's the last thing that Gully remembers.
okay, so that's fairly recent. Like okay, so the party did have a conversation with Ill. It was accidentally leaked that Princess Ruto is alive, and now Ill has put a bounty out for Princess Ruto. That can actually be seen as the thumbnail to our previous episode 36. The thumbnail is a wanted poster, and essentially of Princess Ruto, but it was artwork commissioned by Norin. So here I'm not going to get into why the wanted poster looks the way that it does, but to point out a couple of things pertaining to that is that Nord right now is very torn over what is the dutiful action, and also Ill has never seen Princess Ruto. Ill has no idea what Princess Ruto looks like. So pertaining to the wanted poster, that was used, Norin used that to his advantage when creating the poster, which looks like you're kind of a run-of-the-mill Zoran, and on top of that, it was graffitied with an eye patch and a mustache. So, as of right now, I feel like Princess Ruto is more safe than not pertaining to that wanted poster. But Elle knows that she's out there, and Elle is not happy about it, as he has reacted to pretty much meaning that Princess Ruto is a direct threat to his claim to the throne, being that she is the only known established heir from the Zoran King. And wording that very specifically for her reasons. But yes, so yeah. Now we find ourselves in Kakariko Village, and we're going to pick up there. But Gully, pleasure to have you. And next we move on to Deacon. As I said, I don't believe Afine will be able to join us tonight. If she is able to hop on, that would be great. But we're going to leave her marker up in place, because whether or not people are here, like, they are a part of this. So Deacon, how you doing, my friend?
Whoa, wow. I guess my body didn't expect to talk today. No, I'm doing okay. Hanging in there, having a good time. Very much looking forward to the session today. I think it's going to be interesting. I will say, I already miss playing post Curse and Matu. Like, the fact that I know that is how we left off the last session does, it is unfortunate. I was having so much fun.
Yes, Matu and Ruto did have a bit of a bonding moment.
It was wholesome.
Yes,
I think that was very good for each of their characters, in my opinion.
agreed.
Yeah. So
yeah,
looking forward to more of that.
very much so, very much so. So to briefly elaborate on that, Princess Ruto is directly responsible for Amatu being cursed and turned into a Skulltula. So, although in the state in which Princess Ruto did it, she wasn't exactly in control of herself. So we kind of left them alone for a while, having not really thought about what the repercussions would be, or what it would be like when we got back to them. And fortunately, they did and were able to bond a little bit over this and have reached a degree of mutual understanding.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mutual understanding. You love to see it. You really do.
Yes. It appears that they're starting to reach the common ground of having a mutual hatred or animosity towards the true villain in this situation, which we still have not discovered yet. And by that I am talking about the corruption that possessed Princess Ruto. The corruption has been separated from her being, but was never in any way captured or contained. And with the Zoran medallion rendered inactive, they were no longer bound to the temple and has presumably escaped. So,
I would also like to chime in that we have no idea what this corruption is or how it has come to exist.
Right.
As its own entity.
Exactly. So,
excuse me.
Yeah. So this would be the second temple that we have run through, and the first one was very straightforward. The temple boss, their phylactery was destroyed prior to them being killed. When they died, with no hope of resurrection, because they did not have a phylactery at that point. And now we are dealing with we approached the Water Temple boss, Princess Ruto, a bit different, and we had a very different outcome. So, you know what? That being said, if you look on our YouTube channel, we have 4 different playlists right now, and 2 of those playlists are temple playlists. So we've isolated the episodes that were both the Fire Temple and the Water Temple, so they so if you wanted to catch up on anything, like, they are a lot easier to find. They do exist within their own playlist. But yeah, we did, as a group, we approached this Water Temple a lot differently than we approached the Fire Temple. A little bit more methodically, a little bit more understanding of how certain machinations worked. So we still have a number of temples ahead of us, and I'm very excited for these temples. But yeah, that being said, let us delve into tonight. So, what we see before us is the new map for Kakariko Village. And I'm going to take a moment to zoom in a little bit further. And you know what? Let me put all the tokens on. Oh wait, I don't think I gotta switch over to the other screen so I can do this. So just to explain what I just said, when I run this broadcast, I run 2 different desktops. The one that you view is the player screen. So when I'm looking at the player screen, I have the same controls that a player would have. And on the second desktop, I have my GM screen. So right now, as I start putting the tokens on the map, I'm doing this on the other screen. And
You need a Ruto.
Oh, Ruto. Okay, that's right. What did I have? Ruto. Let me see. Did I have her under here?
Had her in the dungeon.
Yeah, I did.
Temple.
I did. I'm just trying to figure out where I put her. I'd hate to use her mini boss token, but I think I might have to, just for the sake of brevity.
Works.
Okay, there we go. All right, so we have Ledo, Ruto, Gully, Deacon, Amatu, and Ifine. All right, there we go. Okay, so now let me switch back, and all right, let me start zooming in a little bit, and I'll take you around the tour of Rito Village. So we'll start out at the entranceway to Rito Village. In the southwestern area is where we have the entrance. That's where everyone comes in. To the east of the southwestern entrance, as we jump over this little gaggle of cuckoos, we have the rift. The rift, as people, if you've been following the campaign, that is what Bongo Bongo is situated beneath, and that energy keeping Bongo Bongo contained within I call it the rift, the chasm, is being sustained by Flora. To the further east still, we have the chapel that does have a number of historical significance to Kakariko Village in this campaign. Further east, further east we have the cave. We have a cave tunnel, this leads to the graveyard of Kakariko Village. It was a bit more prevalent in the old map, but quite honestly, it didn't need to be. So all we see now is the entranceway. To the north, we have Kakariko Well. Yeah, I'm not going to talk. We'll get to Kakariko Well. Kakariko Well is another significant point within the town. And then as we go further north past the party, we have the new windmill. Not only serves as a windmill, but also serves as the housing for Guru Guru. To the north beyond that, we have a farm plot land. And then the housing, which I completely changed, is more like communal cabin housing, because I was kind of like, yeah. So I was thinking about this like as we were making this map last week, and really the kind of like I try to encapsulate the spirit of a town whenever I try to make it, and I really do feel like the Kokiri and the Deku and anyone else that really lives in Kakariko Village, they do have this strong bond of community. There really isn't this sense of like, this is mine, this is yours. You know, it is, as I said, very communal. So I took the housing and I made a kind of like a circular thing with a nice size bonfire in the middle of it.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you. And
very cute.
I appreciate that. And then last point to note on the map is the Kukos that we have littered around the town. And I want to point out that this is really like one of the only places in the entire map where there's really like a dense Kuko population. So, and that's true for like, yeah, and that's true for like the video games too. Like, I mean, you'll see maybe in like Hyrule Castle Town, you'll see the occasional Kuko, but outside of that, you really maybe very sparsely in Hyrule Field, but there's really always like a dense population of Kukos in Kakariko Village. So we did. We found the artwork for the good Kukos. We step by step we went through what all of the different how to make that into the icon that we used, because we tried doing like one Kuko and it turned out to be like a massive Kuko. So so instead of doing that, we did them like 4 to a block, which looks a little bit more size appropriate. And
oh, sorry.
Okay, and then last part, and then we have the northern exit, which leads to the Great Deku Tree.
Nice.
So yeah.
No, this is very cute. It's very wholesome. I loved it.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun making it.
Nice.
So
Cuckoos are like, instead of like the ring and its demons, right? Cuckoos are the celestial countermeasure that was sent to us from beyond the walls around the Great Deku Tree.
There you go. True. Facts.
The reason that all those Cuckoos attack you is that they're actually calling on the spirits of all the other Cuckoos lost to the Lost Woods.
Maybe.
They're inherently magical creatures. No, I'm sorry.
So, as I said, we had a great time making this. We made this entire map from scratch last week during our chat session. I enjoyed it so much. We do have other maps that need to be made, and if you want to be a part of it, if you want to, contribute and throw in your 2 cents, if you want to, if you want to learn how to make a map, if you're kind of learning to want to get into D&D, and map creation is people do tend to find that to be one of the more difficult things to get started. So if any of this obviously interests you, tune in next week, and if everything goes to plan next week, I think we might do Rito Village.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
And point of reference, we have not had in any campaign a Rito Village map. So
Yeah.
we've had like a screen that had like the overall view of Rito Village. We had like the big character icons, the overarching like background of Rito Village, but we have not had a Rito Village map.
The visual novel form of Rito Village.
Yes. So as of right now, the intention for next week, possibly, is to make a map for Rito Village. I've been kind of mulling over the ideas on how to do it, because I would really like to make Rito Village as 3D of a map as possible, because they are.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, they are a bird flying based race, and I would like that to come across. And there is going to be a certain degree of difficulty with that as I try to figure things out. But quite honestly, that's half the fun. And if you want to, again, be a part of it and learn how kind of my brain unfolds this as we make it, tune in next week and we'll be doing that.
Hell yeah.
So yes, welcome to the new Kakariko Village. So, what are we starting off with? Who's taking the reins on this? Why did we come to Kakariko Village? Let's start off with that.
So, I'm honest with you, man. The reason that I brought us to Kakariko Village was one second.
We are waiting for Guru to show up, because contacted him and he just showed up, I believe.
Yeah, what happened was one second, sorry.
What was that?
One sec.
All right.
Sorry.
This is Kakariko Village. It's a nice place. This is not where we're gonna leave you, though, because we want to put you someplace that might be safer. So
Now, who is Ledo saying that to?
Ruto.
To? To Princess
Pirro.
Ruto. Okay.
Pirro. To Pirro.
Pirro. Yes,
That is
Pirro being the alias of Princess Ruto.
Yes.
Is it Pirro or Puro? Well, Puro is close
Pirro.
to...
Like pirouette.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, we're getting dangerously close to Pura, and Pura is a whole other side quest. So, Pirro. Yes. Pirro being the alias again of Princess Ruto. Yeah, she looks around and there is a certain degree of welcomingness to the village itself, and Kakariko Village does have a well-known reputation for being welcoming for people, whether it's for a night, a week, or to ultimately be a permanent contributor to the community. So I would say Princess Ruto doesn't feel entirely uneasy about the situation as it presents itself, but there is a certain apprehension in her where it's starting to seep in that she is most likely going to have to leave her home behind after going through everything that she's gone through. So there is a bit of sadness to it, but it is not an outward sadness for her new surroundings, but more in inward reflection of what her life might possibly be becoming.
Well, Pirro, here's the thing. You might be losing what you had, but doesn't mean you won't ever go back. If I have my way, you'll come back in a big way. Not be, hunted or anything else by things that are poo-poo heads. But, where I think I'm going to actually put you for a while, it's not going to be here. It's going to actually be near the ocean. It's going to be really nice, and you can hang out there. That's where I grew up. So kind of have like a mixture of like you get to see where I grew up, and I saw where you kind of were stuck. So now it's time for you to just make a new home where I used to live, and it's really safe, and nobody like goes there. So you kind of be by yourself to actually enjoy the water and the beach. It'll be okay. I promise. I'll make it. So, and I'll come to visit.
So she goes, so why are we here?
Oh,
Point to Deacon.
I had to drop off Imatu here. She needs things like food and water, which
Now she wants to go with Ruto to the beach. Hey, because there's plenty of food and water there.
That's food and water you have to like get yourself, isn't it?
But that's hunting, spending your days, fishing, relaxing, swimming in the ocean, coming back out, chilling on the beach. That's in nature.
Sorry, you see Amatu kind of like look at her hands for like like maybe a minute or so as she considers. She's like, well, never thought about catching my own stuff, but I think I might stay here just so that we don't have that lighthouse effect.
I understand. There's no lighthouse at the beach.
There's a story about two dudes who have to live together to work in an isolated lighthouse. And anyway, even though they start off as friends, by the end of them, one of them kills each other. And then it's kind of fucked up, right? So anyway, what happens is, he's like hanging from the lighthouse. And the other dude has to watch his body decompose, and it's very traumatic for even the one who's still alive. So what I'm saying is, we probably shouldn't go to a completely isolated place that we have no way out of just yet.
It's not isolated. You can get out of there. It's just it takes a couple of days. Walk down the beach, and then you have to go through a little forest type thing, and then you come out to Hyrule Field.
That is, in fact, the definition of isolated, my friend.
There's also an ocean that you can swim away in. You can swim basically anywhere that's attached to a coast. I understand the motif and everything. I'm just saying ideas because Zoras, we like water.
I'm not sure there's a world that exists outside of Hyrule.
Yeah.
I stare directly at the camera now. Anyway, is Terminus still a place in this world?
I mean, it's not something that we have discovered.
Well, I remember. Okay, so massive digression. Yes. I remember when I tried to contact Guru the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to contact the Guru. Oh, no, I had contacted the Guru that knew Link, who had moved on to Termina at that time because he was like he had just seen Link like the previous day or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like
Okay. So that was
so now I'm putting you on the spot.
well, no, I was kind of like, yeah. And honestly, the end result is I'm going to flip it right back on you. But that being said,
Always, yeah, always. I
so
love it.
so in Deacon's original campaign, there was a situation where we were trying to find Link, and Guru at that point he was deceased at that point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was what happened.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So what had happened was you had used the sending spell to try to reach Guru by transcending a dimension, which I believe ultimately was a failed roll, and rather than rather than say like the spell failed, it became askew, and it contacted the Guru from Termina, and unbeknownst to you at the time, you were conversing with that Guru, thinking that you were talking to your Guru. So you were asking about Link and if he had died and everything, and Guru replied and said, I just saw him a short while ago. He's fine. And the original story of Link, how it pertains to this campaign, was Link's original story, which no longer pertains to Crow. This was that when the Gerudo, I'm going to slightly abbreviate, the Gerudo captured Link, and in an attempt to give Ganon the upper hand as he grew older. So in the way that I explained it was in the video games, where we're told that the Link in Majora's Mask is the Link from Ocarina of Time. It is true, but the way I explain it is that adult Link in Ocarina of Time is child Link from Majora's Mask, and since Zelda could not get the Link from her timeline, she had to pull the Link from Majora's Mask, and that's how they actually tied together. So
that was fun.
Yeah. So as you were communicating with Guru, you were communicating with that universe's Guru. And then, like, as the conversation started to get a little funky and went awry, like, all these things started to make sense. I think I had mentioned, like, the clock tower, and you know, eventually it all kind of came together. And how I'm going to flip it on you is I'm going to reference the Cataclysm.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I'm not going to say that Termina does not exist. What I am going to say is knowing what you know about the campaign, like what you know about how the Cataclysm functioned, and specifically like the merging of beings into one specific being, it is equal parts plausible and implausible that Termina currently exists. And if it does, in what shape does it exist? Because there cannot be multiple people such as Guru existing in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So yeah, I almost imagine it being folded into our current reality in an origami sort of way. Much like when you are polymorphed, your gear, quote unquote, melds into your new form.
Yeah. So ultimately, it boils down to the whim of Hylia. Like, you know, theoretically, like, what would Hylia want to do with any universes and timelines and lands outside of Hyrule? Like, has Hyrule essentially become an isolated bubble? Like, has it become like an arc from Arc, or has it become has it become like the place for the gathering if you're into Highlander lore? Like, what is Hyrule, and does anything exist outside of what we are recognizing as Hyrule? So after all that, the answer is we just don't know.
Don't know.
We don't know. But what is safe to say is we have Guru Guru here, and so we know that he is there. So that's like the first piece of the puzzle that you have no idea what the rest of the puzzle is, but you're like, we got that piece.
Nice. So, on one hand, like, I just imagine that, like, trying to comprehend this just has Dukun having, like, a snout bleed. It's just, like, taking psychic damage trying to put this together. And Matu understands it just fine, because she was also there. She's, like, just staring at him as he, like, goes cross-eyed.
So, quite honestly, I've forgotten the initial question.
My question was whether Terminus still exists.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Perfect. Excellent. We're exactly where we started. I love it.
and also, like, pointing out, there are things that we have established thus far in this campaign. We have established pocket dimensions. We have established that there are areas such as the area which Ledo grew up in, which we have not established specifically how you get to and from it.
Ooh. Huh. Yeah, true.
But there are things we do know, such as that area has been well protected and undiscovered. So that is potentially something that we will unveil as we move forward. But yeah, there's certain pieces out there that have yet to fully come together.
Interesting.
So yes, I believe we ended the session with Guru Guru approaching the party.
Yeah, he had briefly accepted. Sorry, he had accepted to bring Amatu on board in one of the communal houses. He asked her what instrument she plays, and the only ones I can remember were like the flute and the harp.
Yeah.
And if she played anything else, I forgot.
I believe that is 100% accurate. So the party is just dropping Amatu off with the open invitation to join Princess Ruto, or to do any number of things. But for the time being, Amatu will be staying in Kakariko Village under the tutelage of Guru Guru, and contributing to their flourishing society. So, at this point, does Amatu depart from the party?
I would imagine so. I think I think that's where she needs to be right now.
Okay, so Guru Guru kind of like tries to like reach his arm up, towards Amatu's shoulder, and can maybe just barely reach it because he does have a bit of a posture problem, and it's like,
oh,
so he's like,
he's vertically challenged.
Yeah, it's like, come, young one, let's get you situated.
She smiles and thanks him and stuff. Oh, unless you don't want me to do that.
No, absolutely. So Amatu and Guru Guru walk off towards the center of the village to, find her, get her situated in sleeping quarters, and, possibly introduce her to, the other people in the village, and, just make her feel, at home and comfortable as they do.
Love Kakariko so goddamn much.
There is a certain something to it. So yeah, I mean, what is next on the agenda for Kakariko Village?
Honestly, that was all I had.
You have a shop, a general store.
Yeah, I would say that there's a general store. There's not a whole lot of commerce to Kakariko Village, so a lot of things are just kind of like lumped together. But you would also not find like a weaponsmith or an armor smith, but you would find all of that kind of potentially located in like one central shopping location.
I just need a basic. I want to replace the cloak and get her a clip, so that way Yafine can have her cloak back.
Okay, like like a Lord of the Rings brooch.
That type of thing. Just something to clasp on that. It also helps me if I ever decide to scry on her and I can't find her. I can scry on an object or a location
All
and
right.
see if I can find her there.
Okay, so I would say you walk into this shop.
Hello.
There's a doorway but no doors. There's window openings but no glass.
Okay.
The building itself, it seems to either be made of or encased in vines that kind of cover the entirety of the building. And as a point of mention, like the grass itself just feels really like nice and spongy and giving to it. Yeah. So like you walk in, announcing your hellos, and there's this Kakariko working behind the oh geez, behind the shelf. Counter, thank you. I don't know what the hell that was. Behind the counter, and they are of like the physical size of a child, but they have and like their skin is still very youthful and everything, but they have completely gray hair and a gray mustache, very reminiscent of the mustache that you would find on Zop, just kind of like big, bushy, and curling.
Hell yeah.
And he looks to you, and the shop does have a myriad of things. Maybe not anything of like tremendous specialty, but it does have, as I said, a little bit of everything. So looks at you and he goes, "Welcome, youngling. What can I help you with today?"
Looking for a cloak and a little clasp, so that way it's got to be a tall one. Not as tall as me, but probably taller than you, unfortunately.
And he takes you over to this one area where where there's a bunch of clothing, and he starts kind of like pulling cloaks off of like a rack, and they're all really like made for Kokiri. They're all very, very small. But as he starts making his way down the rack, which again, like the rack is like suited for his size. The rack is about maybe like 3 feet off the ground. And as he starts like moving the clothing, as he's like thumbing through it, there's this like big bundle of cloth within like the inside of the rack, and it looks like it's been there a while.
About that one.
And he goes, this I've been using this as a rug, but it made its way here. And he like pulls it out, and sure as anything, it is a full-size humanoid cloak. But again, like he has been, and he just starts like snapping it to get the dirt and dust off of it, and you can see that it has been used as a rug for quite some time. There is a fair amount of stuff coming off as he's shaking it.
I ask him how much he wants for the rug, if you don't mind.
The rug, 5 rupees?
Okay. I give the 5 rupees.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to cut in, and then I want to just press to digitate it right in front of him, and just clean it off. Thank you.
It just like scratches his head. He goes, I suppose if you want to do it the easy way.
What about a little clasp?
A little clasp over this way. And he takes you over to to like a display counter where there are various bits of jewelry. There's rings, bracelets, necklaces, and he's like thumbing through, or his hands like going over him, over the items as he goes no, and he does find. He goes, well, there's these 2 clasps here. He goes, there's this nice wood one. It was made. It's a very this wooden clasp. It's a very special clasp. It's so as you look at it, it's kind of like it's like very it's about the size of a clasp, but it's made of intricate kind of like vine designs, and then it has a straight piece of wood that kind of like goes through it, and that's how it clasps. And he looks at it and he goes, this one's very special. And then he points to the one next to it. The one next to it is a metallic clasp with a green colored jewel in the middle of it. And on the back of it, it has kind of like a spring-loaded mechanism for the clasping, a bit of a more modern thing, a bit of more modern design. And he goes, and we have this fancy silver one here.
I look at the wooden one, and I like to insight him to see if it's actually special, or it's just something that he's thrown together.
All right, give me an insight check. 12. Are you happy with the 12?
No, but that's what I'm going to stick with.
All right, we're sticking with the 12.
To give him an inspiration. Do you want an inspiration?
Do you want to give it to me? I'll take it.
Yes. Okay. Add a D12 to your 12, and hope that you get another 12.
16.
All right, 16. All right. With the 16, you can tell that he is being truthful. This is a very special clasp.
I ask him, so how much for each of them?
He goes, well, this metallic clasp, it's silver. This silver clasp is 150 rupees. And the very special clasp is 10 rupees.
The silver one I want to get just because, to be like spiteful. Do I want to spend that much? Yeah. I look at Deekun. Hey, Deekun.
Hey.
Can you talk him down on one of the clasps? Like, make it cheaper? I have the money, but I want to save some money.
GQ nods. He says, Mal, okay, hang on, let me think of something. Let's see. So I'm going to try and How do I want to do this? Sorry. So I'm going to look at the silver one, and you know, I'm going to I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna go. It's God, fuck. How okay, so I'm gonna ask him what it is that makes the special one so affordable. I'm gonna ask him like if he made either of these himself.
And he goes, "No, I'm just a simple shop owner. But funny you should ask. See, the reason that this clasp is so special
Because it doesn't work. No, sorry.
is because my son made it.
Aw, that's cute. Aw, does he make a lot of things like this?
But yeah, we have a very special clasp. We have over here we have a very special pencil, and over here, and he kind of like scuttles over in this direction. He goes, "We have a very special wooden dagger," and you see, like these are all very rudimentary objects as he like continues to go around the store and yeah.
I ask how much he wants for the rudimentary pencil.
The rudimentary pencil, the very special pencil.
Right, the very special pencil. I'm sorry.
The very special pencil is 3 rupees.
Done. I hope all the proceeds go to your son, or at least 2/3 of them.
He goes, "Of course."
Nice.
He goes, "I don't take anything in here that my son has made. I do not take a single rupee off the top."
Is he telling the truth?
Insight check.
I cannot physically
How about the
roll.
bottom?
How about the what?
How about the bottom?
The
Yeah, he doesn't take anything off the top. Does he take
Oh.
anything off the bottom?
Well, let's check that. Let's see that insight check.
Okay. Could you roll it for me, Puck? I can't get to my computer right now.
Yeah, I got you. Then bring up a character sheet.
I have nothing special. It's just on my yeah.
All right.
It's with the 12s.
I'm keeping it. I love it.
Okay, there we go. Character sheet coming up.
112. Actually, no, this is Deacon. This will probably be like 32.
Okay, so was that an insight check, Gully? That 12 was that the insight check for?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me just check his modifier. All right. And try. And it's coming up. All right. There we go.
Thanks. Sorry about this.
No, I got you. All right, your insight is a +2, which brings it to a 14. Okay. Yeah. As far as you can tell, he is absolutely telling the truth. Or wait, no. Wait, it is a 12 because the Gully, you both have the same modifier. But yeah, even with the 12, you can tell that he is being. He does not appear to be being dishonest.
Everyone rolled 12.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So, all right. So would you like to to buy the pencil?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So
You
3
said 3
rupees.
rupees? Okay. Does he have anything else that like please continue going through wooden items. This seems like actually kind of fun.
Okay. There is a wooden round shield.
Hmm.
There is a pair of wooden shoes that appear to be like inspired by like wooden clogs, but now you can tell, like, as we're getting into the more intricate stuff, you can tell that there are you're getting a better grasp of the craftsmanship. The
Is it
craftsmanship,
good?
it appears to be a little bit less than average. Like the
Ouch.
shoes themselves, like they're not like sanded or anything. They're just like roughly chiseled. The two shoes,
Ooh.
they appear to
Ouch.
be like like maybe a half size difference between them. Um, let's see what else. There is a very special bundle of arrows. It is a bundle of 20 arrows, but at first glance, without any additional checks, I would say it, just giving it a glance, out of the 20 arrows, there might be 12 of them that are actually useful.
Nice. Okay. So I'm still piqued by the dagger, like a wooden dagger. I have to ask, would that even count as a weapon?
It would, but so what you see with the dagger is actually made up of 2 separate parts, and and upon close inspection, what you're seeing is that the handle was whittled, and then the blade was whittled separately. And as you like pick it up and kind of like inspect it, your hands start to get a little sticky because what has kind of joined the 2 pieces of wood together is a type of adhesive sap that has kind of overflowed a bit onto the handle.
It is not gonna go places. All right, I'll buy this too.
It can be used, but if used, you know what? I don't. What kind of check would this be to check the quality?
Probably investigation, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't think of anything better. All right, give me an investigation.
Intelligence.
Just like straight intelligence.
Could have gone with.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, like your choice, either straight intelligence or investigation or perception, and any of the 3.
Well, I have a much better perception than investigation. So
Okay.
I will. Here. Could you roll that for me again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope, I
I have
got
to
you.
go up to the PC now, but
I got you. Perception, bam. $18. All right. This dagger will most likely break after the first or second use.
nice. Okay.
So, the dagger. Did you ask about the dagger?
Yeah.
Okay. The guy
How
tells
much?
you 5 rupees.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take it. So I spent a total of 13 rupees. Okay.
So what you bought the pencil, the dagger,
And the rug.
and the rug. Okay, yeah. Okay, so as you begin to unfold the rug, you do realize like it is actually a cloak.
Yes. I have prestidigitated all the dirt off of it.
Yeah.
No, definitely did that after buying it from him.
Yeah. Okay.
For that extra rupee, he can't charge me.
There you go.
So what color is the actual cloak then?
It is like a like dark forest green. You kind of get the impression that it most likely came into this shop by somebody who was looking to either sell something or trade for something. This is not something that appears to be of like craftsmanship that came from Kakariko Village. Yeah.
Hey, you can still have it if you want it.
What's that?
Oh, I was just saying that, if he wants the cloak, he could have it. By the way, I bought it because it seemed like he needed a cloak. So
I'm
Yeah,
giving
they-
it to Ruto to give back Athene's, so that way Athene's got her.
okay, that's fair. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yes. All right. So, okay. So the cloak will ultimately go to Princess Ruto, and Afine's cloak will return to her. What about the mask?
The Keaton mask?
Yeah.
We'll see when we get to the beach if she wants to give it up or hold on to it.
Fair. All right.
So we have the silver clasp that I'm still looking at.
Yes.
I was hoping Deacon would help me with.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I got distracted. Literally, that was a genuine in-character Deacon distraction. I'm sorry. Okay, so he's like, okay, so, now that I have bought some of his son's things, and I have learned to compliment them, saying that, well, to be honest, I do like the idea of having some of this stuff. I'd like to just ask, I guess yes. Since I tell them, I'm gonna butter it up and just go. Now, I know it might not be as particularly special, but is there any chance that I could get you to consider any kind of discount on this other average looking silver clasp? I mean, again, not being quite as special. How you say, doesn't have the most luster, but at the same time, I think my friend here is particularly interested. If there's any way you could help me, I would be sincerely appreciative.
Well, I mean, you on one hand, you have been very supportive of my boy, and I do appreciate that. But on the other hand, we are talking about precious stones and metals that this clasp is made of.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I'll tell you what. And he goes into how he's going to consider the discount, but in terms of mechanics, the way that I will narrate it is what did I say, 150?
Yeah, 150.
Okay, so in a persuasion roll, if you roll a 25 to 39, he'll take off 50 rupees.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
But what he's actually doing is he's actually taking off 55 rupees, but you're buying both clasps.
That's fair.
And if you roll a 40 plus, he will take it down to 50 rupees with the same caveat that you buy both. But
Okay.
50 rupees will get you both clasps on a 40 plus, and for less than 40 down to 25, he'll take you'll be able to buy both clasps for 100 rupees.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So here's some guidance.
Thanks. How badly do you want to save this money?
I was looking to spend 100. That's literally it. If I got clasp, I would spend 120. If you can get it cheaper, it's cheaper. Just to save it, because I don't know what else I might want to get her before everything goes
Okay.
on.
Okay. So, but do you think you'll be doing any more shopping within the next hour? Like any other store that I can teleport to you once we finish
No,
here?
no, no.
Is there any other
This would
shopping
be
you
it.
want to do? Okay.
This would be it, or going to my own shop to get stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry. I'm debating glibness just so I can be forward with you. Okay. So, I'm gonna. Man. What time of day is it today? Sorry, I know that's a weird question.
I think we'd probably be approaching like midday. Like, we started off the day in Zora's Domain, and then we've had our bits. So yeah, I would say we're about like approaching late afternoon.
All right, so I'm going to I'm going to try and I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember my my incantation. Give me 1 second. Okay. So so can I try to I'm gonna subtle spell on myself enhance ability to give myself advantage on this.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm returning to my PC. I'm sorry for the hold up.
No, you're good.
Okay. So I'm going to Deacon. $26.
Is it
Okay.
D4?
Oh, true. 27.
All right, so we're hitting 27. We have definitely reached that 50 rupee off threshold. We are a bit away from that magical number of 40, so we are good at 100 rupees.
I will take it for 100 rupees.
Okay. You accept it for 100 rupees. You now have 2 clasps, a wooden
Nice.
clasp and a silver emerald clasp.
Can I buy that shield off him too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Would you like me to narrate the condition of the shield, or do you kind of get it?
Go for it. I'm curious.
Okay. So, the shield itself is made up of specifically 2 separate planks of wood, and there's like a 2 on the back of the shield. There are 2 small, very like maybe 1 inch thick pieces of wood that are holding the 2 main pieces together, and the way that the handles are situated on the shield basically dictates to you as you're looking at it that if there was to be something that were to cleave in between the 2 boards of the shield, that you would very quickly be left with a handle attached to half a shield.
That's amazing. Oh man, I kind of love it.
But on the front, it does have a very nicely painted, like, it looks like a maple leaf, but it's green.
Nice. Man, he's very special. I will write very special shield and erase the word crappy shield.
And 5 rupees.
Fair? Okay.
So,
I'm
I
happy
did
with it.
realize there is one other thing that I want to look in the shop for.
Yes.
And you literally made a comment, and I'm going, are there any masks in this shop?
Yeah, funny you should ask. there are there's there are two wooden masks that that have been carved. One is of a like the like the comedy tragedy masks where like one is smiling and one is frowning. The first mask is of the very reminiscent in style of the comedy. It's a kind of like V-shaped face, and it has a very broad smile to it. And to disclaim, like, this smile is in no way creepy. And I say that because I'm probably going to narrate it sounding like it's creepy, but it's not. It has a very, broad smile with like the smile coming to like a twist at the end of it. It's like very meticulously painted, colorful eyebrows and, squinted eyes, much like the eyes on the Keaton mask. And the second mask is a very, what appears to be like a rough imitation of this mask, whereas there's no paint or anything on it, but it is a mask that has been, piece of wood that's been hollowed out to fit like a mask. But the chiseling of the actual facial features are meant to emulate the first mask, but it might look a little bit creepy.
So it's trying to be a comedy mask, but it's just a tragedy mask.
It is a tragic comedy mask. And if you haven't gathered it from this point, you are largely sure who crafted this second mask. He does enjoy his woodworking.
Does it look like any of the masks that we might be looking for?
Um,
To give off that effect, that feel.
I would say at immediate first glance, it does not appear to be any type of special mask. It doesn't give off you do not get an inkling that this would be a Happy Mask salesman mask.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yeah.
Okay. I am good, and I will take out cloak if Deacon lets me have it in the class.
No, that was yours. Sorry. And I'll I just wanted the crappy dagger and the shield and the pencil.
Oh no, I will hold on to them. I'm not going to let her change cloaks until we get her to the secluded beach, because I don't want anybody to be like, "Oh, look, there was another Zora here."
Burn the witch.
Yeah.
A witch.
I mean, we got chased out of town for no reason. I don't want to see what they do.
Oh, for no reason.
For no reason.
We're completely innocent.
I am, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes. You know what? That being said,
I'm completely innocent. I've never murdered anybody.
I'm gonna reference that. If you would like to see how innocent they are, you will have to go back to episode. I don't have it up yet, but okay, I think it's coming up now. Oh god, it's an early. You guys haven't been back in Kakariko for a while.
It's been a while.
Oh, it's so good to be back. God, I love Kakariko.
There's one other thing that I want to look for before we leave.
Okay, is it at the shop?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Hopefully it's not in the shop, so.
Ugh.
And what might that be?
I want to look if there's any kind of inclination that Saria is like yelling for help, since the last time we kind of saw her. She disappeared and looked kind of trying to make trouble. looking to see if there's anything like a patch of flowers that are all of a sudden gathering, or a message that's in like fungus. Something that a druid would notice, especially in a foresty town.
All right. So not looking anywhere specific.
Just surveying the area.
Okay. And by the way, episode 19. If you would like to see how innocent they are, the last time they were in Kakariko Village was episode 19. So more than half the campaign ago. So it has been a minute. All right, give me a investigation to see if you can find any kind of flora that might be out of place, giving an indication.
That's an 11.
This is important. You want an inspiration?
Sure.
All right.
How about a 17?
17. All right, so we are content. We are content with 17.
I can't roll above a 12 today, I guess so.
Okay. So, as you come up to, as you come up to Kakariko Well, you find an odd grouping of stones. And there appears to be something
ground.
Just kind of like by the around the well, the area surrounding Kakariko Well does have an abnormally large number of loose stones compared to the rest of the village. But with what was that night? What was the roll?
17.
So with the 17, you notice that one area of the grouping of stones does appear to be almost intentionally mounded together. What would you like to do?
I will go to the intentionally mounded and see if they separate or if they're building up to something.
They're small stones,
Okay.
not that heavy to move.
Okay.
But there's a fair amount of collection of them, and as you start to move these small stones aside, you see a very tight, wrapped collection of vines.
I will druid craft and make them basically separate.
It doesn't work.
If I just put my hand on it, can I push in on it or can I pull out on it?
Well, as you make initial contact with it, you get a pulsating sensation on the vines, like it is specifically constricting something, almost as if it's trying. You know what? I'm not going to say anything yet. But okay, yeah, like very kind of like squeezing on it.
So I want to see if I can follow it, see if I can find an end, see what it's attached to, maybe.
You find a couple of like loose vines. Actually, kind of like the longer that you watch it, what's kind of happening is, eventually, like a vine will get so tight that it will like snap into two, and then another vine will like come around it and just keep on constricting this thing. It appears to be about the size of a Pop-Tart box. Maybe about the size, a little bit bigger. I mean, it you can't see what's in it, but what it is in it is at least the size of a can of soda, roughly. Somewhere between the size of a Pop-Tart box and a can of soda.
I will alter self and make my hand turn bladed, and then cut them away and pull out the item.
Okay.
It's been
It's pulling away. All right, so you slice the vines, and before they can,
generate.
as you slice the vines, you hear a screech, like you hurt the vines. You hear an audible cry when you cut
I
these
stop
vines.
immediately.
Well, you like slice, right?
But yes.
Yeah. So it happens when you slice. Do you still grab what's in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, pulling it back, and like within like a split second, these vines like try to reconstrict, and they like almost like when you have something in your mouth and it's like you're trying to figure out like what it is. The vines are like moving and pulsating, trying to figure out where this thing was, and when they realize that it is no longer in their grasp, they recede back into the ground. And after witnessing it, you look in your hand and you find a child's ocarina.
Hey, Deacon.
Deacon looks horrified.
Is this a good or a bad thing?
So I'm going to point out the condition of the ocarina is completely unscathed. Like there's no cracks to it. There's no sense that these vines, as they were trying to constrict or crush this thing, had any bit of success to it. It is a kid's ocarina in very good condition.
I try to snap myself out of my being creeped out by the living vines by cracking this joke. Hey, I wonder if you just got delivered the Ocarina of Time. And yeah, do you mind if I cast Identify on it and see if there's any kind of magic-y business?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it takes a minute. I cast Identify on it using a spell slot.
You know what? My initial answer was going to be that it is not a magical ocarina, but that's not true. That's not true. This ocarina is giving off a let me see how I can word it. I'm sitting here and I realize like
Liveliness, sentience, curse.
You know what?
Curriculum.
Let's say a curse. It possesses arcane magic, but it is cursed.
Well, so we know it's cursed.
So
The only person that I can come up with that can do, and I point back to the well where the vines were, can do that around here is Flora.
True. Yeah, I guess we gotta figure it out. That's a good call.
So the question is, do we take it to Flora, or do we just, get rid of it?
Yeah, let's take it to Flora. Oh, yeah.
Wait.
What?
Eh.
Yeah, we'll let her explain herself. Or at least maybe explain this. I don't know. But yeah, I she's either innocent enough or playing us enough that I want to see what she has to say.
All right. Okay. Anywhere else that you want to stop before heading to the Great Deku Tree?
Anything?
Nope.
Okay.
You sure you don't want that mask?
Which one?
Well,
Actually,
a slightly better quality one.
Actually, yeah, I want those masks. How much does he want for the masks?
Okay. So the unpainted mask is 5 rupees.
I'll take it.
The more professionally done mask is 45 rupees.
I honestly just want the creepy one.
Okay.
I want the unpainted one because that sounds fucking awesome. Okay, so I just imagine like a wonky, like untextured model of the Giant Dad mask.
Fair.
Gully will go ahead and get the other one as well.
All right. Okay. So that is totaling
45 rupees.
45 rupees for
Guilty.
the professional mask.
All right, so yeah, I will. Yeah. Honestly, okay. I want to buy everything that his kid made. Someone has to do this. For him.
I think you pretty much have at this point.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like I think
Except for the arrows.
Oh,
the arrow.
arrows.
Ooh. Yeah, I get.
You subtract.
My concern with the arrows is that if I put them with my other arrows as like a display, I will just randomly not be able to shoot arrows. I will. All right. Can I ask if he has perhaps a very special quiver that I could put these arrows in?
It's like are you kind of like insinuating like a quiver that like his son made?
Yes.
He goes, well, I don't have a quiver, but I have this wooden vase that I can tie a string around, and he like points out this again, this very crudely chiseled, like long, narrow, tubular vase. That like you can tell like he tried to do some etching on it, because where he in multiple areas where he tried to like do some like intricate grinding, he just like pierced through it, and he's like, well, I guess it's a vase now.
Yeah, I understand that.
So
all right.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Okay, sounds good.
I like the arrows, and I will put them in the vase.
Okay, so that's 5 for the arrows and 5 for the vase, so an additional 10. Okay, all right. I was looking for a name, and I just found it. Okay, so, so at this point, I just like do so. How much was spent like on his son's stuff? We had the arrows, the vase, the dagger, the shield.
Yes, and the pencil,
the mask, and the pencil.
Yeah. Okay. So
28.
23.
Yeah. 23. That sounds right. Wait, no. Oh, okay. Shield.
No.
1.
The shield,
2,
the dagger,
3, 4, 5.
the arrows.
Yeah, 28. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So 20. Okay. So so you notice that
can I just say something?
Yeah.
Like for like I don't know if this is like taking into account. He sincerely likes this stuff. Like the reason I bought it is not like out of like pity or anything. It's like I genuinely find these items to be potentially useful in like literal genuine ways. Like, I can explain it to you if you want me to show you that I am sincere.
Oh
But,
no,
like,
I don't question your sincerity. Absolutely. I mean, if and when you can make these things useful, I look forward to that. Like,
I literally I have a use for every single one of these items. I'm
wonderful.
very excited.
So once like the sales are complete, I would also like to point out that you notice him taking 6 blue rupees and setting them aside
Oh,
in like a drawer separate from the rest of the cash drawer.
nice. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, okay. So so heading to the Great Deku Tree and Flora. All right. Okay. So you head into the Great Deku Tree, and you let's see, who is it? Just Flora there? Yeah. Okay. So you know what?
I think so.
Yeah. You walk in and you see Flora, and I would like to say, like, despite the amount of light that is just generally present in Kakariko Village, the moment that you walk into the Great Deku Tree, where you have been there multiple times before, it's not dark, but it feels like it's not as bright as it should be. And and you see Flora kind of like in the center, and she is just so like, you didn't know that a tree could sweat,
Oh shit.
but she is struggling to hold this spell together. Like she is reaching a point.
Okay. Fuck, I wish Shafine was here.
And she doesn't. I would say, like, she doesn't even notice, like, as you come in.
Laura, we've come to visit. You okay?
She startles up. You know, she goes, yeah. Everything's great. Everything's great. How can I help you?
Was that you out there?
No, I'm in here.
No, and I hold up the ocarina. Was that you with this out there?
No, that's an ocarina.
Yeah, but there were vines by the well that were trying to secure it and do something to it. So I thought maybe it was you.
No, I don't know anything about that.
It's weird.
So, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, or more likely comment. You look very stressed. Is this about the rift?
Not depleted, and yes, I'm holding as best as I can, but he's strong. He's stronger than I thought he would be.
Ledo, I think we gotta handle this now.
You can definitely try.
Okay.
No try. We do.
Yeah.
Okay. So gotta think of a game plan.
Well, I can't move him via plants because he's too big.
What if we push him into a demi-plane?
Jim, how? Remember, we have to go down underneath of the spell. Otherwise,
Nope.
he's just gonna
If I could get off a dissonant whispers, we could force him into a demi-plane.
You do both at the same time, though.
One turn and then the other.
Yeah, but just because I think I might know, Dissonant Whispers. That's like a spell that makes them move right then and there, though.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So I'd have to open the demi-plane, get across between, like, get him between me and the demi-plane, and then get off of Dissonant Whispers, which is going to be very difficult. But it's the only plan that I could think of.
Right. Or
though
maybe I
personally,
can push him.
oh, true. You are pretty
Oh.
strong. The thing is, I
How
would
far?
like to talk to him.
You can try sending. If you have a
Yeah.
message. But I know a fiend tried and she got kind of like sad in his back and whatnot like that.
True.
The demi-plane. How big is the opening for the demi-plane? Just
Fuck.
want to make
That's a
sure
good
it's
question.
big enough.
Let me check the spell description one sec. It is oh fuck. Yeah, it's only medium creatures. God damn it. That's a good call. Thank you.
But we could make him smaller. Casting, reduce and large on him.
That's
I think he
true.
has to be, and he might have to be willing though.
Yeah, I'm. Either way, if he's not willing, I think he can save for it, but
Yeah, he
it'll
can
be
save for it.
excruciatingly difficult. Okay. So, yeah, fuck. I don't want to kill him. I would really prefer not to do that. But, fuck. I don't.
Kind of unlimited, unless he's willing to work with us. I don't know how long Flora is going to be able to hold out for much longer, and
Yeah.
I could use a little bit of a rest before we actually try and fight him if we have to.
Okay. Yeah, I could too, because I just realized I don't actually have my 8th level spell slot anymore. I already used it because I'm an idiot. Okay. So, oh yeah, I'm kind of drained. Okay. Alright. Yeah. So, I could also probably use a rest, and then maybe we talk to him, like, at night or something, so that, like, damage is limited and we don't call another angry mob.
If it's at night, I can't really see at night.
Oh, right, okay. Then I guess we do this tomorrow. Flora, can you hold out until tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Alright, so...
I have only one thought, and I walk up to Flora, and I go and put both hands on her shoulders and go, let me see if I can help, and I will try to, and this is just a dumb idea that I have, use Druidcraft and try and, like, refresh her body, because it's made of plants. Like, if her, like, it's almost like a restoration, but plant restoration.
You know what? Yeah. We'll go with that.
I like that.
I like that. So it by no means fully rejuvenates her, but
No.
you can tell, like, her greenery starts to become a little bit more vibrant. Her posture seems a little bit less exhausted, and she lets out like a small kind of comedic sigh and says, "Well, that'll definitely buy us some time."
Also, I had questions that I was going to ask you to see if they're weird questions. I just want to know if you have answers to them.
Okay.
Okay, do you know anything about turning something that's undead back to life? You're a great Deku tree now, so I wasn't sure if great Deku tree passed its knowledge into you, and you have like this wide variety of like encyclopedic knowledge.
It is the oversimplified answer is yes, that is something that is currently happening, but it is a vast amount of knowledge, and it will take many years for me to fully absorb the knowledge of the former Great Deku Tree. But it is my
just gotten to the undead part already.
my current knowledge of understanding is that a type of resurrection or rejuvenation or anything of that nature is specifically designed to take something that is dead and return it to life, whereas something that is undead is neither alive nor dead, and therefore most likely will not have an effect. Think of undead as almost a third state of being. But yes, that does seem to be an odd question.
Oh, what if they were a sage and they're not a sage anymore, but now you want to make them alive instead of undead?
I find that further questioning even more confusing.
Okay.
But I don't believe that whether or not a person is a sage would have a direct impact on that.
Wasn't sure if it made a caveat and they were able to be like, yes, because I'm a sage no more, I get a whole new life again type thing.
I mean, if you want to be really specific on the matter, undead creatures can be killed, and therefore when they are killed they are made dead, and something that is dead can be returned to life, but something that is undead has not yet reached that level of being dead.
If they're undead and you kill them, you can bring them back to life, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that is the best chance.
I don't really want to risk killing someone to try that.
I'm not saying you should.
No, but if they're already undead, I don't want to risk, unaliving them and then trying to bring them back in if it doesn't work.
I agree, I think.
Looking for options, and you're just giving me more options that could possibly work, but that include killing people, and that I don't want to do.
I mean, that being said, the undead in Kakariko Village have a tumultuous history, but that being said, I'm not very well versed in undead, lore and information.
That's fine. So, Deacon, are we staying here, or are we going out into the village and finding a place to sleep?
Honestly,
Part of me wants to keep an eye on Flora just in case.
Yeah, I feel you. I think that might be a good idea.
Staying in the Great Deku Tree?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, to take Ledo's idea a step further, if I cast plant growth, would that help her?
It would give her more physical stability.
Okay.
So in terms of that, like technically, I mean, the three components of a spell are, voice, being able to make the physical gestures necessary for the spell, as well as the components for the spell. And in terms of how that would assist her, it would give her the ability to be more, have more freedom in her mobility to maintain that aspect of the spell. Because if she were to reach a point of physical exhaustion where she could no longer make the gestures, the spell itself would fail. If she no longer has the ability to speak, the spell would fail.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry. So if I cast plant growth over the 8 hours, would that help her? That would help her. So
Yeah,
I
it wouldn't. It wouldn't improve her situation per se, but it would definitely maintain her position and ability.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm trying to think if I have anything else that could help. So I asked her if
Water her.
she's. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, have you like eaten anything? Like, is there a way I can get you nutrients?
And she kind of
Feed you
like
or something?
she like gestures a nod with her head, and you notice that like her feet are rooted into the ground.
Ah,
She's like, I'm okay on sustenance.
understood. Okay. Oh.
So, staying
So, yeah.
here, you're doing that. Laura, this is Pirro. Pirro's gonna be with us tonight. She's a good friend, so just he's okay.
And she goes, absolutely. You know, and anybody that you guys are willing to vouch for is good in my book. And she kind of like, you know, takes a moment to almost like look like she's like X-ray visioning through the mask, you know, but she obviously isn't. And she goes, "Welcome to the shit show, Pirro."
Man, I love
Not
new
that bad.
Flora.
It's not bad for you, but think of everything that Flora has been going through in the past 20 episodes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're here to help now.
Man.
So, all right. So, are you planning on taking like a short rest?
Rest.
Okay, so you're going to turn in early for a long rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask if you guys would mind if I cast like the 8-hour plant growth spell here, for like, so like, because I imagine we can only turn in so early, or at least that's usually been the policy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Early turn in is absolutely possible.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Still, I really want to help Flora with this, so thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Okay.
And while we're doing this, how would you guys like a hero's feast for tomorrow? Since I think we might need a little something.
I never say no to a hero's feast.
Yeah. So, yeah. Since I'm gonna say that, since I need to help Flora get her physical strength back, we could also use our physical strength back. And once I finish casting the plant growth over the 8 hours to kind of like maintain her situation, I use Wish to cast Hero's Feast and conjure one for us.
Okay.
And yeah. So here I'm gonna post what that does.
Okay. So brief moment of questionable retcon. Before Deacon goes, I'm going to say, like, just, perchance that we have let's say I'm giving an opportunity for like a 3-hour time span for any of this for anything to possibly be done before all of this starts.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh no, like like that's the thing. Like I'm listening to like how like what's going to be done, and I'm just like doing the hourly factoring in my head. So for all of this to happen, for a long rest, for these spells to be cast, for a long rest to be available, on the front end we have roughly a 3-hour time frame that we can take to do anything. Is there anything that anybody would like to do that could take up to 3 hours before all this
Yes.
happens? What would you like to do?
I'm going to take Hero aside and change her out of the cloaks, since now we're out of sight of everybody.
Okay.
And then give the cloak back to Afine, and literally sit Ruto down and basically go, So I never had a chance to really interact fully with him. But can you tell me about Dad? And you don't have to play this out. You can just be like, she just tells me about her.
So, well, I mean, where to begin?
Well, I can tell
Anything?
you, I met him once and made sure he wasn't poisoned anymore. That's about as much as I know.
I mean, that is a good place to start. I mean, father was a very dutiful man. He cared a lot about Zora's domain and everyone in it. Excuse me. It takes a moment to, and then says, sometimes he cared about the Zoran people so much that he would lose sight of his own family. But I by no means can criticize. I mean, he was the king, and kings do have their responsibilities.
Ruto, I'm not asking about his responsibilities. I'm asking him as a dad.
As a dad, he was a kind and generous, and for his booming voice, he was a soft-spoken individual. But as a father, there were some areas that he fell short. Putting responsibility of above family, making sure that I was groomed to be a princess more than a daughter, a future queen more than a daughter. It's enough to make somebody want to run off and take control of their own destiny.
We can do that now.
I have done that for many years. It did not go well.
Now you have a fresh start.
Yes, a fresh start is something that is not always awarded to everybody, and I'm telling myself that I'm very fortunate for that. But for fresh starts don't undo the past, and I'm still working through a lot of things. I have, I'm hesitant to call them dreams because I don't really sleep anymore as I used to. But when things are quiet, as they tend to be at night, I get these visions that I had that I'm now understanding are memories of things that I have done. I used to tell myself that these were memories of that they were just nightmares, that there were things that weren't really happening. And after after getting to know Amatu, and after getting to know everyone here, I'm learning that these things actually happened. I'm learning that some part of me committed these horrific atrocities, and I guess I sorry I diverted too much from your question, but
Yeah.
the fond memories and what I initially regarded as not so fond memories of my youth have kind of been overshadowed by the things that I'm mentally processing right now. But Dad was a good man. He did good things. He cared for his people, and I probably should have been a better daughter than criticized how he could have been a better father.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure something out, and whenever you decide to meet him later on in life, you can tell him all that. But right now, you got me. I'm going to help you.
I'm learning that. And I appreciate everything that you have done and everything that you potentially will do. You have been my biggest supporter. But yeah, everything is ultimately going to take time.
So Ledo can't hold it anymore, and he hugs her.
And
It's okay, big sis. It's okay.
She how do you hug her? Like what is your arm positioning?
I put it like around the top shoulders.
Okay, so
Shoulder
like
to shoulder, hands on the shoulder.
all right, gotcha. All right, so as you come up for a big hug, anyone who's kind of like witnessing sees like the notable surprise on Pirro's face as her arms are like outstretched, like she doesn't quite know what to do with them, and then she takes one of those two hands and kind of like pats and strokes Ledo's back.
Me.
You get a half hug.
Okay, that's fine.
You get a half hug.
It's okay. I got you, big sis.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think about what you want to do with your life. If you do want to go to the beach, otherwise I can come up with some other ideas. But I need to go because I need a couple of minutes by myself because I got some spells to try and cast.
Okay. All right. I will spend my time as best as I can.
Okay.
Man, I
have
really
two
want.
spells I want to cast, but I can wait for whoever else wants to go first.
Okay. So we're still operating within this 3-hour time window.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Anybody, Gully, anything you would like to do in this time frame?
No. He's the thought of Hero's Feast has got him a little excited, so he's just anxiously awaiting that. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Fair. All right. And anything for Deacon as he we are getting to the point of preparing these actions.
Okay. So honestly,
Oh, I did send you a question in Discord, Puck.
Oh, all right.
Man, I actually I think, let's see. I think he'd probably actually take a second to just be like, hey, Amatsu. You know, we're gonna be potentially fighting this dude. You want to maybe come with us in case shit gets hot? Like, you know, if this situation goes like awry, having an extra combatant might be kind of handy. And you know, I imagine he explains. Sorry. Hiccups. He explains to Imatu what the chasm is. And you know, asks for her help. And she's like,
Wait, Amatu has taken off.
She's in Hyrule Castle, in the village, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
You track
Oh,
her
yeah.
down.
I was thinking about it since I have like 3 hours. Like, I have an hour to get there, an hour to get back, and
Okay.
an hour to look for her.
Okay. All right. So you exit the Great Deku Tree and travel around the village and run into Amatu.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then yeah, I'll use my last hour to head back.
Okay.
And actually, can I stop at the store and get one more thing?
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Okay. So fighters are proficient with heavy armor, I believe. And Matu started as a fighter. So I would like to get her some armor if that's at all possible.
What kind of armor?
So that's actually a really good question, because I was thinking, well, sorry. One of the things that I was thinking about would be like chainmail or something, because as long as you are proficient in the armor, you can still cast spells in it, you know. So
Mhm.
like the heavy armor wouldn't. But I have to check her stats real quick to find that out properly, and I can't find her here. Ah, there it is. Okay. Because I know there's like a strength requirement, but she has that, so
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, okay.
So, but I will say, just from like regular memory, having like been through the village and checked out the store, metal-based armors was
That's a
not
good point.
something that you saw a whole lot of.
Okay. And how about you give me let's see.
Hylian armor. What are the stats on that?
uh,
Do you happen to know offhand, Puck?
I can.
And the only reason I asked is because for whatever reason I still have in my long list of items, I still have some Hylian armor.
Oh,
It is half plate, 15 plus dex up to 2. You get a +3 to history and a +3 to intimidation checks. Hylian.
oh wow.
Yep.
That's pretty
15
good.
plus
It's medium
dex
armor.
modifier, max of 2, which brings that to 17 tops. +3 to history checks, +3 to intimidation checks. Player is automatically proficient in any equipped weapon.
Oh, that's good.
So if you want to give that to her, because I've been wearing the plate armor that was made for me.
Oh, nice. Are you sure that's okay, Gully?
I'm not using it, so yeah.
Fair. Thanks, man. That's super helpful, actually. Thank you. I really appreciate it, because her she wasn't wearing I think she's wearing like a leather armor or something. So
That'll
her
relieve some weight. Thank you.
yeah, hell yeah. No, I appreciate it. Here, so let's do
So let's go ahead and delete that from my inventory. Bye-bye. Okay.
We haven't looked at these armors in a minute. Now I'm looking at all of them. I'm getting nostalgic.
I love the Hylian armor.
Come on.
Actually, I think it's really funny that Deku is also wearing the Hylian armor. He's got his modified mithril version of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I almost think I should have been. Well, the plate armor's good. I should have been wearing that Hylian armor. Oh well, whatever. Bye-bye. We have someone else that can use it more.
Let me.
Well, also, I think you have a higher armor class with the.
Yes, I do have a higher armor class now with the plate.
Okay.
I would love to give Gully some magic plate.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm just right now as I do this, I'm like fixing the notes, so that I can get it to work properly.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, honestly, like, continue.
Okay.
I think I can multitask this.
Fair. Honestly, yeah, she doesn't. With the Hylian armor, that's basically the last thing that she needed. Like, yeah.
Hey, Deacon, question for you.
Hi. Sure.
Is there any way that you could send me to the fire temple and
Sure.
possibly bring me back?
Yeah, sure. I could do that real easy. Like, are
Okay.
you ready now?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
wait.
Mhm.
You want me to do it? Because the fact that you have to be here for 8 hours for the plant growth?
I have 2 teleports, but honestly, if you want to take a shot at it, that would be pretty handy, just in case I need to do a regenerate or something.
I can do it twice.
Okay. Here. Though that said, we should probably all go together just in case something happens again.
Okay.
All right. So
We're all scaredy cats.
Honestly.
we have had interesting times in that temple.
That we have. That we have.
All right, let me see.
So, me first, or are you teleporting since you want us all to go?
I'll teleport us.
Okay.
That'll do. All right. So yeah, I take hold of the fire temple medallion, and I use it to teleport us to the fire temple.
Okay. So I'm not going to port the screen over to the fire temple just yet because I'm like almost finished with this armor. But I'll narrate. So we are in the fire temple, and I would say like you teleport to like the center area where you initially fought Tico.
Perfect.
Ooh, okay.
And
Hey. Oh, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Can I loot this area since we never looted it after the battle? Like,
you think there's anything left? you were in that. We were in that temple ages ago.
oh, people have been in here stealing shit?
I mean, is it stealing if it's exactly what you're looking to do?
Yes.
So
Fair enough, though.
just to be clear, your justification on the matter is you're angry that they looted before you looted.
My justification on the matter is that I'm surprised they made it into. Well, they're Gorons. I guess the lava doesn't bother them. I was like, I feel like it's just dangerous, but then again, it doesn't make sense because I forgot they were Gorons, so they can do the Goron roll and shit, so they can make it across those gaps pretty easy. Like,
Yeah, and also keep in
yeah, I
like
didn't think about that.
there are. Oh wait, am I looking at the? Amatu's getting the Hylian armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure that I want to
Oh,
that I'm putting it in the
thanks.
right area.
That's cool because I went and did the I did the wrong I was too lazy, so I just put it in as a custom armor class. You could change it if you.
Yeah. The you know what? Like the great thing about the this is what I can do is I can take something like a half plate, and then I have taught myself how to change it so that like it does
Cool.
the proper things. And I believe that I have it right here. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this. One of the many things I have taught myself.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm just going to like test it to make sure that I have it right. All right. Okay. So, yeah, so you find your way into the center area of the fire temple, and there are still a fair number of Gorons that have been there, kind of doing, they're paying their penance.
Oh, okay.
So they're still there.
Mhm.
And all right. Now let me just make sure that I have this right. And yeah, what would you like to do?
So, I would like to. Well, I know it's not just a matter of hold the coin and become the fire sage, but Gully wants to see if he can figure out the process for using the medallion, to transform into the fire sage.
Okay. So bringing out the medallion, it immediately catches. Oh wait, Amatu had the Zora armor equipped. Okay, so
Did she? Because it was not tracking the AC. I didn't realize that.
let me see. Yeah, I'm like going through her inventory right now and like trying to factor in everything. Oh, okay. I think I'm getting it.
It's still better.
I'm getting it.
It is.
Let's see. Let me. Okay, so you break out with the No, why'd you fucking do that? Mystery and intimidation. All right, what if I try this? Yeah. Everyone kind of like the Gorons present kind of notice as you take the medallion and hold it up, and they're all like, they just stare at you. If I take off the tunic. So what do you do now that you're holding up the thing? Do you announce?
Can I use minor illusion to just make like a sound effect that's like,
Absolutely.
Yes. So with this, I hold out the medallion. Or more so, I hold up the medallion, outstretched towards the ceiling, and I say, "Fire Temple. I don't know the right words or the correct ritual, but I claim the right to be the new fire sage." And then I will tell the Gorons to avert their eyes while I look around,
Okay.
bewildered as to what I should do next.
All right. So, as you, hold on. You know what? Fuck this. So as you hold it up and Deacon makes the sound, all of a sudden, everything in the room stops. And the Gorons that were surrounding you are no longer the Gorons that were surrounding you. You see, I would say the only person in the room that you recognize at this moment is Darunia. And as you continue to look around the room, most of the people in the room are Gorons. Some of them appear to be dressed in a very old style type of clothing. Some of them are dressed in like a very kind of basic sort of style. And give me... Yes, most...
So, now thinking, he probably should have said, Sages of the past, guide me on how to perform this ritual
Give me...
to assume this role. Yes, I'm listening.
Give me a insight check on this. God damn. All right. You realize now that you are now surrounded by all the past sages of the Fire Temple. Again, pointing out that most of them are Gorons. Some of them are Sheikah.
Interesting.
But no one else. It's no Gerudo, no Rito, no Zora. Just a handful. I want to say maybe like 3 Sheikah, and the rest of them are Gorons.
No Hylians?
No Hylians.
Am I to be the first?
So, so Darunia, like, and they're all kind of like on like higher areas of cliffs surrounding you. And Darunia calls down to you. Says, "Tell us, why do you possess the Sage Medallion of the Fire Temple?"
The temple, unfortunately, had been tainted with evil. And my companions and I had to get rid of it. And with that, it left the temple without a sage, because the previous sage had been corrupted. The temple cannot be without a sage. And so I am taking it upon myself to become the new sage of the temple until a better fit can be put in place.
And Darunia says, "I am well aware of my mistakes. And I have paid the ultimate price, just as all sages should be willing to do. So, are you willing to do what is necessary to protect the Fire Temple?"
I am.
Are you willing to commit yourself and use not only the power of this temple, but the power residing within you to
I am.
protect those around you. And
Yes, I am.
and are you willing to let go of all earthly connections and ties to serve as the Fire Temple Sage?
If I did that, then I would not be able to be a worthy fire sage.
Fire erupts around you and from the eyes of Darudia, and he says, "You have not answered the question." Are you willing to forego all earthly connections, all worldly connections, in order to make yourself the Sage of the Fire Temple?
It seems the universe has already done this for me.
You have a tie that weighs very heavy on your heart.
I do.
And are you willing to let it go to obtain this power?
Well, as I already said, the universe
Has already seen fit to do that for me. So,
yes, I am.
Darunia walks down as all the other sages, still gazing upon you. He approaches you and he puts his giant hand on your shoulder. He comes in close and he says, "No, you don't. Do not make the same mistake that I made." I banished myself to these walls. I gave everything that I thought that I could give. And I secluded myself from the people that I was sworn to protect. Do not be that sage.
I understand. So, do not forsake those around me. Foster those bonds.
The bonds that you share with your friends and your loved ones will only make you a stronger and more suitable sage than I had the opportunity to be.
This I will do.
And Darunia turns from you and with his other hand gestures and waves to the other sages. Says, "Our new sage has seen the light." And they all cheer, and you start to feel a growing warmth starting to emanate from your center of your chest. Your body begins to lift off the ground as all of the sages begin to dematerialize, and in various streams of light take refuge inside the Fire Temple medallion. And with that, your body slowly starts to descend back to the ground. And before you can catch your breath, you find yourself once again surrounded by the rest of the party and all of the Gorons that were inhabiting the temple prior, now looking down on you. And given the ambient noise of the situation, you realize from their perspective, not a moment of time has passed. But you are now the Fire Temple Sage. And so I know that you have already incorporated the Sage class into your character as
Yep.
yeah, as you saw fit, but I also told you that there was an additional ability that would be tied to the Fire Temple. So I'm going to be explaining this to you as well as explaining this to everybody, because this is going to be something very specific that is designated for each Fire Temple Sage. The new generation of Fire Temple of Temple Sages are not bound to the temples as previous generations, such as Princess Ruto and Darunia were. They are able to leave the temple, but they have an additional sage ability that gets recharged by taking by returning to the temple and essentially recharging. So what the Fire Temple Sage has is a Fire Temple Sage has a flame aura. This flame aura operates in a 10-foot radius. And the radius deals 4d4, deals 4d4 fire damage within that 10-foot radius to any hostile target. Which means, like, party members would not be affected by this aura coming from you. However, the radius will deplete 1 foot per day until it reaches 0 radius. Taking a long rest inside the temple will fully recharge it back to a 10-foot radius.
Okay.
So, being that the principles of the Fire Temple revolve around, heat, fire, raw power, this is the ability that is bestowed upon a Fire Temple Sage, is that there is this just overabundance and massive generation of firepower that it just expands out from you, and you have complete and total control over it which means that it would not affect people that you do not want it to affect. So anybody caught within the radius at the start of their turn takes 4d4 fire damage.
Okay.
Congratulations to Gully for being the first sage of the campaign.
Somebody had to take the plunge.
Yes. Very, very happy and excited to hear it. So now go out and foster those bonds and cultivate friendships and family and all these fantastical things that will lead to Gully being more complete, and in being more complete, be a better protector.
Long live the Fire Nation!
So 44 10-foot radius minus 1 foot per day until the long rest is done in the fire town. Yes, that is exactly the function of it. All right. So
Okay.
Gully is officially saged, and let me move him over a bit so we can. I'm going to momentarily take off your camera so people can see. Oh, nope, that's. There we go. So there is how Gully is looking in his new Fire Aura Fire Sage appearance. Bam. All right. So
Good thing you already had a flame
Very
tongue.
cool.
so from everyone's perspective, obviously, like, none of this ever happened, but like, just like in a flash, Gully just looks different.
Hotter?
Like, yeah, you know, like he
Yeah, hotter.
has, yeah, like he's got, you know, all of a sudden, like these embers start slowly kind of like emanating off of him. You know, he just like he is holding himself in a different way. Like, you know, aside from the embers, like you can tell that there's something different, but you know, it's a little hard to place a finger on it. But you know, I mean, you know why you came here. And you get the impression that, from your perspective, like you just came in and he just became the Fire Sage. Like there was nothing to it. So, how do you guys take that?
So what happened? Why are you fiery now?
Oh, well, I
was able to actually interact with the previous sages. More specifically, I actually spoke with the
Wow.
previous sage.
We just got here.
I had a whole conversation with him.
Well. Okay.
Really? Was I literally just in front of you this whole time?
Except now you know you're fiery.
Interesting. Well, I guess it makes sense because, to be fair, when I was talking with them, I didn't see any of you around. I saw the other sages. But it
There's
was
more than one?
still in this room. Yeah, there were several sages, yes. But only you spoke to me, though. The others did not.
Did you at least say hi to the rest of us?
I actually did not. How rude of me.
It's fine.
Kind of caught
I'm
me
not
off
a
guard.
sage. I understand.
It was also surreal. You know, on one hand, it was like, you know, they were, you know, saying I needed to, you know, relinquish all bonds and ties, and then they were like, but no, don't do that. Those are the things that actually make you stronger. So, yeah. You know, You know how sages do. They get riddles sometimes. I'll try not to be one of those sages.
Well, since
I
you're the
will.
fire sage, a big question for you.
Yes.
Can you like feel the temple? Like, you know, like I can tell that there's a person walking like 5 feet that way, or like stuff like that.
To a certain degree. I mean, I
The
can get
big thing is,
information. I feel
the
like
big
I
thing is,
can.
I want to know if you can still feel if there's a hole in that place that you guys talked about.
A hole in the place that we talked about.
You said you had to use the medallion, and then there was like a broken hole where, the Triforce was. The dead guy that you guys killed.
Oh,
Point
if
to
I
the
can.
corner a little.
If
Can
I
you
can.
feel if there's still a hole there?
This is all very new to me. I'm feeling lots of things at the moment.
It's just a question, if that hole is there, does that mean it attaches to the one that we found in the water temple? The gates.
Oh, you mean like the hole underneath, like the shortcuts that those
Yeah.
mofos made? No,
Yes,
I'm not
I
feeling
think-
anything like that.
Okay. Wasn't sure. Maybe it was something nifty that you got like some kind of like sense of dungeon now that you're in charge of it.
I don't know. I feel like I can, like the
You
fires.
tried.
I mean, I feel like maybe if I like, maybe.
Saying I wouldn't want a giant hole in my new house.
So, what Gully will do, and we're in the fire temple. I know there's lava, but am I seeing any flames around anywhere?
Any flames?
Yeah.
I mean, aside from like the general like spurts of fire that occur when like lava kind of like crashes up on the side, like no strange flames are kind of coming out.
No, not strange flames, just flames in general.
Oh yeah, like sporadic kind of like like flickers of flame. Yeah.
Okay. So what I will do is I will go over to some flame, and I'll use flame tongue, and I'll speak to the flames. No, I will actually speak with the flames, and I'll talk to the flames because I get a sense that I can actually speak with them now, and so I will ask them, if they know of any other holes within the caverns, within the temple, that would lead to these portals that we've encountered, like in the water temple. And I'll explain this to them. I'll explain, the water temple and, the type of tunnels that we found underneath, and ask the flames if they know of any tunnels like that around in this temple.
And all of a sudden, like a line of flame just starts like popping up and heading to that corner room where you met where you came across that muscle bound Yiga with blades for hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the flame just like it kind of like roll like it like forms a line across the lava and then comes up to like the precipice of where the opening of the door was that leads into that room.
Yeah. Well, according to the flames, Yeah, there is. Yeah, right over this way.
So it's behind like the door though that you still have to use the medallion to open. Right?
Right.
You mean the
I mean, going off
yeah,
of what you guys told me, so I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
the door that the medallion opened.
Yeah,
that's right, because you weren't in here when we came back. Yeah, that's right.
So if you open the door, are we going to expect someone to possibly be in there again, or can you tell that?
Well, the
Oh,
flames didn't tell me there was anyone there.
Is
Yeah.
the door
Uh-huh.
closed?
But when they took the medallion, the door closed.
Okay, that's right. I was trying to remember. It's been a while. Is Gully immortal now? No, no. Gully is not immortal. He is more powerful, but as we have learned in this campaign thus far, sages can and will continue to be killed.
Yeah. There was a sage here previously.
Yeah, there was a whole party of them looking down on him. So yeah, Gully is not immortal. Gully can be killed. But yes. So okay, Gully, do you open up the door?
Yeah, I opened the door.
Okay, so you open up the door. It's dark inside.
I will produce flame.
All right. The room illuminates. Again, the room is in large part exactly how you remembered it to be. I believe there was like etchings on the wall of a great battle, and a couple of things in the room that quite honestly I don't remember. But
Big hole?
what's that?
And a great big hole in the wall.
Did it have a hole in the wall?
That's how they got in.
Well, they got in from a secret passage.
Well, you said there was a broken hole in the wall. That is where they might have come from. You described it the last time they were here.
Oh. Sometimes I forget how deep I go.
So unless that
I-
hole in the wall that we previously saw is no longer there, so we're like, oh, remember that hole in the wall that was over there? Let's go over there. It's probably a secret passage.
So okay, all right. So the hole in the wall is not healed. It is still there. And it's a fair conclusion to come to.
So, do we go in the hole or just seal it?
Well, what are we gonna do if we go in the hole?
Let's see if it connects and we'll actually see how it connects. It's if this place is like the one in the water temple, then we kind of know they all have the same kind of room, or maybe this one goes directly to the water temple.
But remember, how do we get back out?
Well, no. Remember, that was a hub where basically you came through the doors. Couldn't go out through the doors. So maybe this one leads in. We know then we could come back and then destroy the hole. Makes sense?
I mean, we can try, sure.
Just don't want to leave it open, so it's either we try it out or just break enough to cover it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, either way, we need to prevent them from being able to come back here through this little shortcut they have.
I bow and go, whatever the sage desires, I will do that.
Ledo, you're too much. You're gonna have to do that, sir.
You should
Yeah, well,
respect
yeah,
your, elders and people who are, fancy pants now.
If everyone is okay with it, yes, we can go ahead and check this out and see if there's a way that we can close off this shortcut they've made.
Okay.
And of course, see where it leads.
So,
You can cool.
which are you doing first?
Going through.
Okay. So
Yeah, I
so
think
so
we would have to go through. Yeah, we
all
have
right.
to go through to see where it goes first.
Well, I mean, I make that assumption, but it trying to go through a solid stone wall is not the craziest thing that we have tried to do in this campaign. So, okay.
Fair. Very fair.
So, who is poking their head through? Who's going to be the brave soul?
Oh,
Do it.
I'll
I
be the brave soul.
No, be the okay.
You just became a sage. Do you really want to be like, whoop, sage, first job, blocked off his head type of thing?
Well, you know what? Since you have so much concern for me, Ledo, then I will absolutely let you go first. Thank you.
I can also go as an animal that if it dies, I can just become me again.
That is very smart.
So I wild shape into a badger and go into the hole.
Okay. So you kind of like worm your way through the opening in the wall, and
What do we want to tie a rope or something to you before you go through there?
I'm already a badger.
You're already
so
gone.
You do. I can't say anything. No, I haven't gone that far.
catch him,
I can hear
catch
you.
him,
I just can't speak.
grab the badger. Well,
Can,
So
can we grab him?
yeah, you
I
can
think I
probably
got
do
him.
it.
all right, yeah, that's good. You got it. Okay, so you grab him, you tie a rope around him. So I'm going to narrate this in like percentages. So so Ledo, like you first come to like the opening in the wall, and what you see before you is a long cylindrical tunnel. And by that I mean like there is no like flat walking distance. Like the whole tunnel is completely circular.
Perfect.
So we're going to regard
Coming
that as
armadillo.
like the 25% like head in the hole. This is what you see. So
Okay.
you go in like halfway in, and as you make your way about halfway in, you start to feel like a pulling sensation emanating from the tunnel. Do you go further in?
Pulling me or pulling?
Like
Just pulling me in.
not that it's like grabbing you and trying to pull you, but more like I guess the best way to kind of describe it accurately would be like you know when like you're hanging upside down and like you feel like the blood like rushing to your head and stuff like that. Like that's the sensation that you feel. Like it's not like something's
I'll
like
keep going.
it's not like something's grabbing you and trying to pull you in. So the second you go in just the littlest bit further, you start falling. And it's then that you realize, give me an acrobatics check to see if you can, even throw it at advantage, because you start to realize that like once you got more than halfway in the hole, which
I need to.
what is it? 22?
Me too.
Perfect.
Advantage.
Okay. So the second that you start, like the second you got more than halfway into the hole, you started falling and you realized that you were falling in a downward direction. Like you went into the wall in a forward direction, and now you find yourself falling in a downward direction. You are able to catch yourself with your badger type claws, and you catch yourself, given that you are 20 plus, you catch yourself right above the barrier that you have formerly become acquainted with.
Okay. So I will try and like tug on the rope to be like, hey, bring me back and start climbing.
Well, I was gonna say, if we have the rope and we notice the sudden drop or like, speed of the rope, we probably would have pulled it taut. But yeah, and now that we have a tug, we start pulling it back.
Yeah. I would say like
Cool.
that was maybe like a 10-foot drop before. What was it? It's more like a 20-foot drop, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it was a 20-foot drop. So I would say he fell about 15 feet before catching himself. So it happened like rather quickly. But now that he's caught himself and he's tugging on the rope, you start to kind of start to pull him back
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to describe the sensation again, Ledo, you feel yourself going in an upward direction, but then when more than 50% of your body makes it out of the hole, you feel yourself being pulled in a lateral direction. And you find yourself again back inside the water temple with the hole situated on the wall.
In the fire temple.
In the fire temple.
Okay, I was like, if I'm in the water temple, that's a big difference. When I climb out of the hole, I turn back into Ledo and go, so you go in, you go pretty far, and then it drops, and it basically looks like the same little hole portal thing that you go through and you lose all your magic items.
Mm.
I would definitely say we need to clog this up.
Yeah, we need to clog. I wish there was a way we could destroy that, but yes, we definitely need to clog
There
this up.
is.
So how do we
There's a
destroy
way.
it? How?
I point out to all the Gorons that are milling around and go, they're pretty strong. They could probably cave it in.
Well, let's go with that. I like that idea.
The sage, I think you could probably be like, as my first decree as sage, I request, demand, whatever you feel like, that you guys destroy this hole and make it so that way it never existed. Might be able to do that. They're good with rocks and whatnot.
Yep. So, yeah, with that knowledge, yeah, I go head back out, and Gorons do I see out here?
Less than before. There's still a handful. At like a quick glance, there's at least a dozen, but it is notably less Gorons than there were when you first came in.
Gorons, I ask for your aid.
Your assistance. It seems we have an opening over here that.
Don't forget to mention the fire sage thing. It might be helpful that way.
As your new fire sage, I have a request of you.
It seems we have an opening back over here that would allow undue ruffians,
Ruffians, I like that one.
Ill reputes.
ill repute individuals access to the temple. Would you be able to assist in, well, caving this in over here so they are not able to enter through this way anymore? And I'll do a little flicker of the eyes just to give them a little flame.
So like the first thing that happens is what one of the Gorons like begins to approach you, and he says, I mean, of course, but I hate to ask a favor of our newly crowned sage, but truth be told, we have been here for a long time to serve as penance for a little kind of misunderstanding that went down.
Yeah, we know the misunderstanding. You guys screwed up and tried to kill people.
Well, potato, but so we were told that to make up for whatever wrongdoings some of us may or may not have done, that we would hold this temple securely until a new sage arrives, and if you need assistance with anything, we are more than happy to give assistance. But as some of our brethren have already taken this as job completed and left to head down to Goron Village, it would just be it would make us feel a little better and a little more secure that our penance has been completed if that completion were acknowledged specifically by you.
Well, yeah, based on the decree that was made, yes. By all means, you have essentially served your penance because, yes, there is a new sage of the temple now.
After they fix the hole.
So, yes, I would absolutely acknowledge this. And I would greatly appreciate if you could help the new sage with this little task.
It would be our pleasure. So,
and one other little question for you.
of course.
Would you be interested in compensation for perhaps checking in on the temple periodically? Just to make sure there are no, again, ruffians or anyone that wanders in
Shop.
and sets up shop in those times that I must be away helping the other sages in their temple.
Well, I absolutely think that could be arranged. I can't speak for, again, those who have already left, but there is enough of us here who would be happy to set up a rotation and just kind of check in and make sure that everything is fine on a regular basis.
Okay. Well then, I'll tell you what. Here is you say there's a dozen of them now?
Yeah. You know what? Let's round it out and say 14, just so they can go on an even 2-week rotation.
14.
There are 14
Added
Gorons
more.
already.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Well, in that case, whew, I'm not really sure how the going rate for funds here is, but let's see. 14 times 10, 140. I'll give them all 10 rupees.
Okay, so you offer the collection
To start with.
of rupees, and initially they kind of like take a step back and they're like, we can't accept monetary payment for this. With all sincerity, to continue to be to ask to do what we are being asked to do is an honor and an opportunity that quite honestly, a lot of people would say none of us deserve. So the ability to contribute in such a prestigious manner, we cannot take payment.
Do not think of it as payment. I want you to share this amongst yourselves. You have been serving this penance, and you've agreed to help the new sage. And so for this, I'm thankful. But I also want you to know that, even in serving out your penance, there can still be reward and thanks. And this is just my way of thanking you a bit more. So, go this evening. Have fun. Have an evening out. Or perhaps use these funds to perhaps do something else for others, in the town, in back in Goron Village. Maybe, have a feast for someone, or just go out for drinks. Do something for you.
You know what? We will take these rupees as a token, and we will bring it back to the village, and we will announce that we have a new fire sage, and we will drink and sing of your name, and whatever's left over we will use to benefit the village.
I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, so now off to this hole.
Yes,
Let's definitely take care of this.
absolutely. So immediately, like they start kind of like at first like tearing away to make the hole a little bit bigger, which does kind of you know, have you taken aback a bit, and you're like, okay, let's see where this is going. And then they just like walk over to the lava flow and just start like scooping up lava and like chucking it into the hole like it's like it's like a carnival game. You can tell as they're doing it that there's like a very specific technique that they're doing. Like a learned Goron technique where they can't like handle lava. Like they can't just pick up these big things and chuck it around and bathe in it, but they have a thing where they can like scoop and toss, and they just start like hucking these bits of lava into the hole, which is why they enlarged it in the first place. And once it begins to fill up a bit, then they take the stones that they have torn away from the wall and use it to patch up the final bits of the hole. And this hole is pretty thoroughly sealed.
Awesome. Well, you guys are phenomenal. It's awesome. Thank you.
And you can like smell the like it almost smells like a little bit like burning sulfur like coming off of their hands, without like, but less rotten eggy. And like, you know what, we're seriously just happy that we could help. I mean, we've been here for a while, and we didn't even know that was there. I mean, granted, we couldn't get into the door, but some people would say that's no excuse. So,
well, it's fine. I mean, it was supposed to be a secret passage. But unfortunately, it's not a secret passage that we want there, because it's not something that the sages put there. It was something that, the Yiga,
those ruffians, yeah. Let's not speak for them.
yes, it's
Leaves a bad taste in my mouth just thinking about it.
and
so with that, thank you. Go enjoy yourselves.
all right, and this is if I may, just, and he like takes his big old Goron finger and he just starts like etching on like a piece of the on like the lava that's like partly solidified right now. And he like etches something in Goron, and then he underlines something that he underlines a very small specific part of the etching. Do you have your helmet on?
I do.
All right, so you will be able to read it, and what it reads in Goron is. It reads, "It was," underline the word "was," "a secret to everybody."
Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy.
He just looks at it and he shakes his head.
I use my once a day gust, and gust try and dry and cool.
just rapid cool it. Fair. After that spell, the lava and the rocks have completely solidified, and there's nothing left of that secret passage but a mural of what once was.
So let's
So-
leave, close the door, and then go back to Kakariko.
Yeah. Ledo, quick question for you. So because it looks like I'm gonna have to do double duty, I'm gonna need a way to get back here pretty quickly. Any ideas? I know you can, travel with the plants, and Deacon, this guy's teleportation. I mean, you guys, you think of any ways that I can maybe get back here quickly, when I need to?
I heard it's a long time ago, but there used to be like a helmet or something that could teleport too.
Mm. Okay.
Otherwise, unless you can like turn into like a bird or something.
Okay. Okay.
I
I know, no
It was a
sigils
rumor. I don't know if it's
or
real.
sigils or runes or something. You can
That's
probably
kind
use.
of not my thing.
is there maybe someone that you could ask?
Well, we could go see witches. They might have something.
Fucking ass up.
Oh, yeah.
Ask
Zop.
Zop.
Huh, okay.
Maybe he'll know.
Hey.
I'm
Oh
actually,
yeah. You think Zop would know information like that?
Sure.
Let's ask Zop real quick before we leave.
all right.
Zoppy.
Is in Ledo's backpack?
Oh, he's in Deacon's.
Okay. Zop time. All right, here we go. All right. So Zop pops out of Deacon's backpack, and he makes an auditory noise of stretching, but not having any limbs. Stretching is kind of impossible for him. So he kind of like pops out, and you hear him go like, "Oh, that feels good. Hi,
Zop. So dramatic.
what can I do for you?"
I love it. Just curious. Do you have any knowledge of how I can return here quickly when needed?
Well, there was a safeguard in effect that I do believe will aid you in your current predicament that you're asking about. The sage,
Oh, really? What is that?
The sage medallion that you are currently possessing has a number of unique properties, but one of the properties that it possesses is in the event that a sage was somehow kidnapped and captured or forcibly removed from the temple, the sage could activate the medallion and it would teleport them back to the temple. The only thing is, it is a one-way thing. It can only teleport the sage to the temple.
Mm,
Now, Gully,
okay.
I know this is weird. Try and use it now and see where you pop up.
All right.
Best to try it now
Oh,
while you
well-
still have a way to get out. So
And Zop, another quick question. Do you know how many times that can be done? Is it just,
Is it as many times as you want, or is it just like you know what? Let's just try it and see.
and I will hold the medallion and
You feel
return to the temple.
you hear like a sound, like a boop, and from Ledo's and Deacon's perspective, you disappear. Gully, from your perspective, you teleport to the center of the temple.
Okay.
you
So-
know where you pop up.
So Deacon and Ledo, he has disappeared.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
Look
hey
around.
guys.
And I can still see them from that little platform from where I am to where they are, right?
I think they're still in the
Yeah,
room,
we're
right?
Here. Oh no, we came out because we were going to close the door.
Oh, okay. So
So
you're
you get the medallion.
okay.
we
So
would be standing like right there-ish.
Okay, so you guys are kind of like facing the door, like getting ready to close it.
Okay, and
So I would pop up like right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, hey guys.
Hey,
As you hear the voice call from behind you.
oh, it takes you there. Good to know.
Yeah, that's good to know. But man, if we're out and about and I come back here, you know what? We'll worry about how I
We
get
can-
back to you, and yeah, we'll figure that out at a later date. Okay. So we got emergence case down. Zop, do you have any information on any other like items or
You wanna come
rooms or?
back over here first before you talk to Zop?
Oh wait, yeah, Zop probably can't hear me from over here, huh? Okay, I'll come back over there. Hold on. And I'll use my shoes to make my extra long jumps to get back over there.
All right. So you hop on over. You rejoin the party, and yeah. So you ask Zop, and Zop Frosty, he goes, can you be a little bit more specific? That question was a little vague for Zop.
Well, Zop, do you have any knowledge of things like, I'm just grasping at straws here, knowledge I have from other worlds, because we're like that. Teleportation circles, or helms of teleportation. Do you know any knowledge about those kind of things?
I'm aware of that teleportation exists and various modes of it. But
How about this? Are you aware of any individuals in this world that have knowledge of creating teleportation circles? In which case, I can use a ritual to return here.
Teleportation
As well.
circles are something that can only be attained by the most
It's like, you know what? I
talented.
really wouldn't need a teleportation circle. Nah, never mind. I need a helm of teleportation. That's actually what I need.
That would be a suitable substitution.
Yeah, that's probably the better option. All right. Well, Zop, you know what? I know you came out, you got a little stretch in. Guys, do you have any other business you need with Zop questions? Yeah.
We have it after I do the 2 spells that I was gonna do back at Kakariko.
All right.
Coon, anything?
Hmm?
Anything for Decoon?
Anything?
did we lose Deacon?
No, he's still in chat. I still see him there.
Might have fallen asleep.
Maybe. We tuckered the little guy out. All right. Well, I mean, this is all operating within a 3-hour time window. As like everything that's stated for the day is predetermined. So we are. I would say like we're getting close to that 3-hour window time. So how are you getting back
Things
to?
need 10 minutes and 10 minutes. We can either leave the temple, and I can use via plants because I have a wall of plants on the outside of the cavern that leads to the temple.
Mhm.
Or if Deacon was going to teleport us, he would teleport us again. But since I don't think he's available, we'll just travel via plants outside.
All right. While Deacon is photosynthesizing, we are going to leave the temple so we can teleport through the foliage back into Kakariko Village. All right. So,
Now, I need a couple of minutes. Well, I need 20 minutes in all to do my next thing.
okay. So,
So,
where?
would you like to know what I'm doing?
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, I am going to. We're still going to be inside of the tree, the Decker
okay.
tree.
Gotcha.
I am going to have Gully come with me and sit down and take off a glove for me. I need to actually touch his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to cast Scrying
Okay.
Okay.
on Beatrice.
Yeah, interesting.
Because it says, if I'm familiar with her, which I am,
Uh-huh.
if I have a body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or something of the like, I would consider Gully something of the like.
Okay.
So,
Or do you want to be considered a possession or garment?
so I'm going to allow it, but I'm going to state that there was a significant amount of time that the catalyst that you're utilizing, being Gully, has been detached from Beatrice for quite some time, like physically. And I will say, like, the spell is possible, but
Or
Uh-huh.
do you have anything on you that she gave you? Your wedding ring.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay,
This
that
is wedding ring
is
instead.
all right. That's a pretty solid thing. Okay, so using Gully's wedding ring from Beatrice, you begin to scry, and
Using a little mirror.
Beatrice comes into view.
Does she look like the Beatrice I know? Because I met her, so
So the canonical
Long time, but
answer
it's
is yes. We have a different picture model for Beatrice now. And I'm not yet going to unveil it because there's other stuff attached to it that I can't unveil yet. But you see Beatrice, and she is as you remember her. She is asleep in a she's on a small mattress, asleep on her back. Let's see what I can.
making sure there's nobody else in the bed with her, right?
There is no. It's a small bed made for one.
Making sure.
And it is from the scrying you can tell that there's like a headboard on this bed, and on the headboard appears to be a kind of like, it's hard to tell specifics, but you can see like it's a red outfit, kind of like draped over like one of the posts. And I mean, she looks healthy. She does not appear to be in a distressful situation. But the scrying is like very, very close on her. So, what specifically would you be looking for in the scrying?
Of course, I try and figure out where she is. Does it look more like a Hylian room, or does it look like a Goron room? Does it look like a Kakariko room?
It appears to be a type of, like, you can see like plank floorboards. Sorry about that. You can see there is an adjacent window, and outside of the adjacent window you can see foliage, specifically trees. But they give me a nature check to just see if, unless you have an ability that can discern what type of trees they are.
I have a book, but I think I'm a little busy.
Yeah.
Pulling out a book.
You're scrying and reading the book.
To compare.
15.
15. All right.
Unless you want to give me advantage because I am a druid.
All right. Advantage. I'll give you advantage on this.
Here we go. 24.
24. You notice that these are palm trees.
Interesting.
So with Gully sitting close by, I start describing. She's in your room, and it's a single bed, so you don't have to worry about that, bro. She's got a red dress, and the floor is made of wood, and outside there are palm trees.
Palm trees.
Yeah.
And one more thing you notice. She is still wearing her wedding ring.
Good for you, bro. She's got the ring on still.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
Palm trees, if we can figure out where palm trees are, and a house made of wood, which kind of doesn't narrow it down because a lot of houses.
Yeah, a lot of houses made of wood. Palm trees? Where the heck are there palm trees? We didn't have any palm trees in Castletown.
There are palm trees around the area that I live, but I've never seen a house that like that. Normally, it's just us on the beach. We'll do some surveying when we go back to Castletown, which I think we're going to go back sooner or later after we probably finish Bongo Bongo. We can ask Bradford, and Bradford might have some plans or something that might tell us.
Yeah, you might. Okay.
So
Can I have my wedding ring back now?
yes,
Oh, thank you.
I like hers better, by the way.
Well, yeah, hers is better.
Saying, okay. So I will finish up with that scry, and I will let you do whatever the heck you want with that information, Gully.
yeah.
And then I will go over and sit by my sister and ask for my sister's hand, because again, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try and scry on the creature that came out of her. I don't know its name. I am familiar with it because I've seen it. And I have something that was attached to it, possession.
Okay. So this scrying is a little bit different. What you... How can I... Hold on a sec. I need you... You know what? Give me a nature check to... Because what you are seeing is it's outside. And given what the area that you are seeing it, I'm gonna... Okay, so you... Okay.
Natural 2027.
All right. So what you are seeing is you are now seeing this this shadow based figure. It appears to have it has no physical form. And it is darting from shadow to shadow to maintain its hidden self. And you look at it and you're like, I know that area. It is, you are watching it as it has literally come to the end of the trail that leads to Zora's domain. So like if you recall, like when you first get to like the waterfall where you had initially in your original campaign met Tojo, this is the point that this entity is at, where it's like darting behind boulders and behind small bushes to keep itself hidden. But first you hear the waterfall, like you hear this like heavy bit of running water, and then as it gets to the end of the path that opens up into Hyrule Field, you immediately recognize that waterfall as it is leaving Zora's domain and entering Hyrule Field.
Well, I'll watch it for the 10 minutes to see if I can figure out where it might be heading.
Okay. Within 10 minutes, it starts to I'm trying to like think on the where it would all right. So when it first gets to the end, the first thing it starts to do is it starts to travel up north towards Goron Village, keeping that going along like the edge would be its best course for maintaining being hidden. But eventually it comes across a grazing horse. Yeah. And you witness firsthand as this thing kind of like slithers through the grass that the horse is grazing on, and then meets like up with the horse and goes in through its mouth and possesses this horse and starts running in at a full gallop in a westward direction, for
I was afraid of.
whatever is remaining of the 10 minutes.
Okay.
You get the you at the very least get at least a sense of panic coming from this thing. Like it is looking for something. It is looking for someone. It understands that it is incredibly vulnerable in its current state, and it needs a host to attach to provide extra protection for itself.
Wish Deekun was here. I could really use him for what I wanted to do next, but we can't. Crap. So I look at Gully. We might have an issue.
Ooh, what do you got?
What's the issue?
You know the creature that I talked about that came out of Pirro? I kind of know where it is and where it's headed. And we could probably cut it off in its path.
Oh, then we definitely need to do that.
Okay? I wish everybody was here, but I think the two of us might be able to do it.
You think so?
It's a shadow creature. I think we might be able to do it. Or one of us gets possessed and the other one has to kill them and then it possesses the other person. Either way, we're going to do something.
All right. Well, let's get this thing.
So I will tell Flora when they wake up, go to the orchard, go to Irobi. That's where they need to head. And I will find a tree, split it open, and cast travel via plants to the orchard, which is basically how my brain is saying is in direct path with where it's going to need to go across.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm doing.
Mm. Okay, so is that happening now, or is this happening like...
Yes.
Okay.
It's happening now. I'm not giving it a second chance to do anything.
All right. So, I'm sorry, like, because my brain's going like a million miles a minute at this moment.
Going to the orchard, which I basically am going to then try and verify it's coming from that direction to see if we can get a spot that we can jump out and stop this horse that's possessed and take care of it.
Okay, so the orchard is Hyrule Castle Town.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
no, the orchard is outside of Hyrule Castle Town.
Right. So how are you getting there?
Trees travel via plants to the orchard.
Oh, okay. Tree porting over to Hyrule Castle Town in the orchard.
As I'm looking at it, it's going straight across in a westward, which basically means it's going towards where the Gerudo are. my area is a little bit north of it. Robbie is before it, so if we get closer to Robbie, we might be able to get that, because I really don't want this thing possessing Robbie. That would be really bad.
So, all right. So you come out kind of in the orchard. So you know what? Let me bring up the map. So we have like
What we're doing.
a bit of a visual.
Basically, I want to try and set up an ambush with Gully, and then attack probably in 2 weeks. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Yes. We are quickly approaching the end of this session. But I think,
By all honesty, I think it's coming. I don't know if it'll actually show up, but I'll do it. Coming like that way-ish. So it's coming across, and if we set up an ambush where the little Decoon token is, we might be able to stop it and jump it, or head a little bit more south. As it's looking for a host, it would be the perfect time to be like, sure, one of us can act like we could be possessed and then attack it.
okay. So, so keep in mind, each one of these squares is an hour's travel. I just so I can like point out the
It's also, once Decoon's back, he might be able to teleport us somewhere closer. Right now, this is what I can do.
Okay.
Push. So we'll make the final
Teleportation mode
option or decision with Deacon.
Okay. So now keep in mind, like, we have all of this other stuff planned. So there is not a large span of time in which we can execute this.
Shouldn't be that difficult.
All right. So I'm
A
going
lot
to
can happen in 3 hours.
a lot can, but I also want to
Yes.
make sure that like you guys can make sure that what is supposed to happen in 3 hours can. So I'm going to put like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, here's how we're going to run it. Excuse me. We're going to run this as a probability. See, it's 15 times 7. Okay, so there's 105 squares in this box. This is where it could possibly be going in the event of as it tries to make its escape. So
Can I make one change?
Uh-huh.
Because I know it's going basically from the area of the Gerudos, right?
No, it's going from it's heading west from just a little bit south of Zora's domain.
Okay, so yeah, it's fine then. Never mind.
Or wait, I'm sorry, north of Zora's domain. A little bit north of Zora's domain.
Which is like this area.
Yeah. That's why I made that square in like that particular thing.
Okay.
So,
That's perfectly fine.
so theoretically speaking, all of these are numbered in the way that you would expect them to be numbered. Like right now, Deacon's token is sitting in box number 2. So what we're going to do is you're going to tell me which numeric box you are sitting in to wait for him. And all of the adjacent boxes you will also be able to see him from. So like a corner box is not preferable as
Good
a
idea.
choice. So after you tell me which numeric box you are looking for him from, I will roll a D105, and we will see if you see him.
So that way I can get where I want to go. I would turn into a moorbounder and have basically Gully ride on back of me because I can ride very fast.
Yes.
But that is where I think we would wait.
Okay, so 31, 2, 3. Okay, so you are in box 35.
Let's Gully, you have an idea. This is throwing it out there.
No.
Let's risk it on 35.
All right, so roll D1. D105. Here we go. Let's see. If you
35 on the dot.
again, 35 and everything surrounding it.
36.
Holy fucking shit.
36. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
We know that's enough for tonight. In 2 weeks, we'll have a plan. How about that?
You had a less than 10% chance of finding this motherfucker.
If it was one of the other characters that I would go, I would be like, bet on me. Bet on me.
All right.
Good
So,
Unbelievable.
randomness inside my own head. It's random that sometimes I can do stuff like this.
so yes, this is where we're going to end it for tonight. But before we do that, I'm going to narrate it. So, so we have Ledo in Moorbounder form, just adrenaline pumping, ready to go, looking for this this black horse that is just emanating, like the black fumes coming off of it, and he is just hard staring over the field, and he is determined to catch it. And on top of him sits Gully, weapon drawn, his heat aura just ready for this encounter. Is Deacon with you guys?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know at the moment. Since
Okay,
he's-
so we will figure out where Deacon
Yes.
is.
everybody would have come with us.
I'm assuming, but there's also a certain degree of spell preparation going on. So,
Yes.
so we will touch base with when we start in next session in 2 weeks. We will figure out if Deacon is in fact with you. I would imagine Afine is, and so unless told differently, we will play it out like that. But as you are about to momentarily just potentially give up hope that maybe it took a southern turn, or maybe it already found a different host, maybe it switched bodies, over the hill you just see this frantic galloping black horse with red eyes heading towards you. And that is where we will end tonight. God damn it. I am blown away by this. So, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Hell of a session, hell of an ending. God damn. And I can't wait to play this out. And but unfortunately, just like me, everyone is going to have to wait 2 weeks. In the meantime, next week's broadcast, we will be talking about this and everything else that we encountered tonight. I really enjoyed that mechanic of the wall where he kind of like went through and then fell down from it. Like, we have so much to talk about, and we have a map to make, and we're going to have a great time. So tune in next week, and then definitely tune in 2 weeks from now when this continues. But for everyone who is here, not here, conscious or unconscious, thank you. And yes, check out our link tree. Get on all of our things. Get on our YouTube. Get on our Discord. Get on our Facebook group. Get on it all. But yeah, we will see you next time. So thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Have a good one.